$1,550 on New York State's largest selection from New York State's largest specialty bedding retailer. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show. The Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50/50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
We go to the phone lines now. Dr. Kent Hall joins us. Good morning, Doc. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Did you hear, I mentioned this coming out of sports here, but the whole Lindsey Vonn story, do you know what, I'm sure you do. Can you explain what compartment syndrome is? Apparently, after she tore the ligaments and then still wanted to ski again, she broke her leg, and she's saying that she almost had to have the leg amputated, I guess in part because of this compartment syndrome.
Yeah, so the different your different extremities, your arms and your legs have what are called compartments in them. They're basically divided into areas: the front part, the back part, and there's an internal part for the lower leg, for the calf. And they're divided by this really tough connective tissue. It's called fascia. And the muscles and nerves and blood vessels run through these different compartments. When you get something that has severe trauma, whether it's what Lindsey Vonn suffered, or a car accident, or sometimes it's a chronic thing. Like oftentimes, or sometimes runners will get this, especially long distance runners. What happens is that there's swelling that occurs within the muscles within the compartment, but because this tough connective tissue, this fascia, doesn't allow for expansion, basically the pressure builds up and builds up. And what happens is that the pressure gets to a point where blood flow cannot get into the compartment, and the entities within the compartment, the muscles and the nerves, start to die because they don't get the nutrition that they need. And absent some, fairly significant interventions where you have to cut the fascia in order to allow things to expand and to swell, then it can cause death of those tissues. And if it doesn't happen, if you don't correct that quickly, then amputation can be the only thing that can actually save the rest of the leg.
So fortunately, she said this was caught and they were able to save the leg. But what a wild story, considering all that she's been through. Had this gone a different way, it would have been, I guess, one of those moments where you look back and know what she was, trying to do at her age in her lower 40s, and then the injury and continuing. And it would have been horrible if she ultimately did lose the leg. She says that she wants to ski again, right, Smitty? I don't think she means competitively, certainly not in the Olympics, but she does not want to give up skiing.
Well, she said she wants to competitive ski, but her dad said over here he's never going to let her do it again. But what can you do? You're an athlete, and if she wants to come back, let her try again.
Yeah. Doc, I don't know. There aren't too many people I know that haven't been sick in some fashion over the past 3 weeks to a month. Can you talk about, I see RSV is on the rise. COVID numbers seem to be down, and the flu has been taking people out left and right here.
Yeah, so in general, this is kind of a late winter surge, which does happen, especially with this, weather getting warmer and then cooler and then warmer and then cooler. You get people out and moving around, and then you get them back inside because it gets cold. It's a recipe for transmission of these respiratory viruses. Overall, flu cases are coming down, which is good, especially from the high that they were in, late December and early January. COVID has actually been under pretty good control. Certainly not what we saw 5 years ago, but even compared to last year, we're doing better. RSV is ticking up a little bit, but that's relatively speaking, that's a lower number, certainly than what we've seen with the flu. But the reality is that, this is the time of year for respiratory viruses. And so a lot of people are getting, one of the 22 or 24 viruses that causes the common cold and things. So, it's still a time of year when you have to be aware of what's going on. And if you're not feeling well, then staying home and taking care of yourself is really the best thing to do.
Doctor, dip back to the Lindsey Vonn situation for a moment here because we got a message. Tim says, I'm shocked they flew her back to the United States as fast as they did. I would have been concerned about blood clots on the plane. Can you talk about people having that issue of clotting? Is it because of the elevation?
No, it's really because of the immobilization. So she would have had problems with blood clots, from the accident itself. The accident and the injuries that she sustained actually turn on your clotting mechanisms within the body, because that's how it actually stops the bleeding that's occurring inside of her leg. They would have been giving her blood thinners, whether it was heparin or something else, in order to keep that under control. It's a little bit of a balancing act because you want to give her enough so that she doesn't get clots on one hand, but on the other hand, you don't want to give her so much that she starts to bleed, from the injuries. So she was susceptible to blood clots simply because of the accident, and then the fact that she had the external fixator on to keep everything, keep all of the bone fragments stable while the soft tissues started to heal a little bit and the swelling went down, so that they could ultimately get in and do the surgeries that were needed for definitive care.
And then, Doc, I also wanted to ask you this morning about the latest on the measles outbreak. It's something we've talked to you about several times over the past year or so. I see the latest here this morning, Utah Valley University, which is actually the campus where Charlie Kirk was shot. Not that they're related at all, but if that university rings a bell to some of our listeners, that's why. I see here that they have reported an outbreak as recently as, I think, yesterday. I'm trying to get this number here. Campus health alert after a measles outbreak.
So if you've gotten the vaccination, assuming that your immune system, would respond to it the way that the way that immune systems do, and that happens in 95, 97+% of the cases, then you as an individual would be protected. There are people who have not gotten vaccinated because they either can't get vaccines, because they have some kind of a reaction to the vaccine itself. That's a very small percentage of the population. Or the very young. Remember that the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine are not given to kids before the age of between 12 and 15 months. And so they are susceptible. They do get some immunity from the mother. If the mother has been vaccinated, then they would get protection from the mother, but that wanes over time. But really, the majority of people who are getting infected are people who have foregone getting the vaccine for personal reasons, whatever they may be. And that's what we're seeing. Certainly, South Carolina is probably the biggest nexus right now. They've had over 1,000 cases of measles in that state, but we're seeing these pop-ups elsewhere. The majority of that is because of people that have decided that they didn't want to get the vaccine, which is a very safe, very effective vaccine. I would emphasize that. So yeah, the best thing that people can do if for some reason you are, you have not gotten the vaccine or you cannot get it, is to be aware of people who are sick and to stay away from them as much as possible. Measles is one of the most contagious diseases that we know of. So if you come in contact with somebody who has had it, or if you're in the area of somebody who has had active measles, even several hours later, then it can linger, and you can end up getting it from the area. The best thing is just to be very, very careful. Well, the best thing is to get the vaccine, but absent that, being as careful as possible.
Dr. Ken Hall, appreciate the information as always, and stay warm and stay safe out there.
Yeah, please, everybody, please stay safe. Thanks.
We'll take a quick time out and come back with more. It is First News, Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Megan, why is everybody whispering K4 like it's a secret?
Because it's the 2025 Kia K4 EX lease deal.
The one with zero do-it inception?
Yup, just $328 a month for 36 months.
Okay, say the magic part.
Even sales tax included.
Sweet, fun to drive, and no surprise math. That's a powerful combo.
It's how we make vehicles affordable.
Make that short drive to save.
Go cookie for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
Stock number 25F0951. MSRP 25,515. 36 months, 30,000 mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. Zero due at inception. Zero security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 3/2/2026.
Destination Kia.
Let's face it, no one looks forward to hiring contractors to work on their home. The mess, the hassle, the back and forth, but it's all part of the process, right? Wrong.
Scott and Jill here at New York Sash, where we give you the smoothest, the cleanest, the most painless window, siding, bath, or door renovations in Central New York. We call it our worry-free remodeling.
We understand the dread usually associated with home remodels, over-budget products, behind-schedule installations, outside financing hiccups, and we say, no way.
Instead, we're a full-service remodeler to make your project that much easier. We handle everything from initial design to financing, and we never outsource our installations with subcontractors. We use only full-time New York Sash employees. We even have our own service department to stand behind our warranties.
Home remodeling doesn't have to be a stressful experience. At New York Sash, it's anything but. For windows, siding, baths, or doors, call New York Sash at 624-7344 or online at newyorksash.com.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50/50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
According to Punxsutawney Phil, winter is here to stay. Here in Central New York, we just never know what to expect. Bobcat equipment can keep you working through whatever Mother Nature sends our way. Bobcat machines, including skid steer loaders, track loaders, and excavators, are fast, maneuverable, and deliver plenty of traction for working in deep snow or mud. In all kinds of weather, Bobcat machines deliver low ground disturbance, excellent traction, impressive pushing power, and a smooth ride for all-day working comfort. So whether it's snow or mud that won't quit, you won't have to quit either thanks to Bobcat. Push it to the limit with Bobcat machines and attachments from Warner Sales and Service. If you haven't been to see them, take a ride today. They're easy to find and anxious to meet you just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona on the Greenway New London Road.
Warner's, where quality still counts at Warner's.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Is your business the best at what you do? Then you should be a Central New York's Industry Ace. Our Industry Aces are made up of the best businesses in the region, and we'll help you tell your story to thousands of consumers in the Mohawk Valley. With a combination of on-air and online testimonial commercials, along with targeted social media ads that are guaranteed to reach the consumers you want to be talking to. And best of all, these messages are coming directly from you. Interested in learning more? Contact Megan Powers at 315-768-9500.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
6:29, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. We go to the phones. Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel joins us. And we do have some snow on the ground this morning. Good morning, Ray. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, a little snow, not a bunch. Advisory criteria, northern Oneida up and through Lewis County, most of Herkimer, Hamilton counties, where they'll see a little bit more.
Weekend here. I know we're going to reach the mid-40s, but it looks like we're not making the curve just yet.
No, not yet. I think longer term, as we get into the first week of March and beyond that, you'll start thinking more about springtime. Got another little burst of colder air coming in late in the week round. So it does look like we'll get to probably the 40s or low 40s on Saturday before that next front comes through. And again, looking at highs as we get into Sunday, first day of March, by the way, in the low to mid 20s, at least here in the North Country. Obviously, it is going to be colder than single-digit lows for Monday morning, which puts the North Country below zero. The coldest morning in the next 7 days, probably Tuesday, when we could actually have overnight low temperatures just above zero, maybe around 3 or 4 degrees, and then highs close to freezing Tuesday afternoon. So not quite done yet. Even early next week, got another system swinging through. Low pressure going to come through and may bring a little bit of snow to the area, but a little too early to say exactly where that snow will be. It's tracking south, at least the low tracking south, and this is Sunday night into Monday, where the best chance of snow may be south, but I still think that'll be our next shot here of maybe some accumulating snowfall, but not quite ready, as you had mentioned, to throw the book in on winter yet. It does look like midweek next week, another weak system coming in. But into the first full weekend in March, it does look like maybe some milder air trying to get in here, and that'll stick around for a couple of days. But, it's tough to say, at least at this point, if you're ready to, call it an end yet. I really like, which most people think of right around St. Patrick's Day when you get to that point.
Yeah, that's
and you're
true.
like, you know what, enough. But, we got to remember, Superstorm in 93, that was a mid-March storm, so a lot can still happen. And I do want to go back and talk a little more about the blizzard this week. Providence all-time.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. 85 mile an hour winds? I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, an incredible amount of wind, an historic storm, a tropical storm to hurricane force winds in eastern parts of New England. Record snow for the state. Providence almost 38 inches. And there is an unconfirmed report. Now, it was from a weather spotter in Massachusetts of 41 inches, but the Weather Service hasn't confirmed that. But there was, at least from a trained weather spotter, a report of 41 inches of snow. But just a ton of snow from, let's say, North Jersey over 30 inches. On Long Island, they averaged about 2 feet. Now, New York City officially came in at 19.7 inches. Believe it or not, that puts them only at number 9 in terms of biggest snowstorms since they've been keeping records in the 1800s. But, just a widespread 20 to 36 inches of snow through parts of the tri-state and even on into eastern New England.
Ray, you talk about, the storms that we could still get in March, and it's foolish of me. I guess I'm just hopeful because winter started so early that it would end early. But I guess the good thing about mid-March snowstorms is it is typically warmer. So, I mean, we're looking at snowbanks that have the bottom of that snow is from early December.
Right.
And where a lot of times if you get that mid-March snowstorm, a lot of that it'll warm up within the next 2 days, 48 hours. And then a lot of that just goes away, at least in my mind anyway.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I mean, you get a storm where, you get, natural snowfall coming in, and non-lake effect, and you get widespread heavier snowfall for a wider region. Yeah, usually if it comes mid-March, it melts pretty quickly. But there's still, and I was just up there, still up in Tug Hill, there is still a ton of snow on the ground. There's still several feet, and they may get a little bit more here over the next 12 to 18 hours as the synoptic piece, meaning this disturbance coming through, will end the widespread light snow this morning, but it becomes more localized when we start to see maybe a little bit more in the way of lake enhanced or lake effect, especially Oswego County, Lewis County, up into central and northern Herkimer, and even Hamilton counties too. So I think this morning, some slick spots. We've seen probably around an inch or so of accumulation on average. It hasn't been a bunch. Temperatures are certainly cold enough in the teens, but there's a warm front just to our west, a little bit milder air will try to get in here. So you might see even a raindrop or two today. Right now it's 19 in Utica, and it's 28 in Syracuse. And that warm front is just off to the west of us. So we will see some slightly milder air here in the next couple of days before we get that next cold front to come through. So upper 30s today, near 30 tomorrow, near 40 for Friday and Saturday, and then much colder air in late in the week and early next week.
All right, Ray Stajic, glad to hear you were up in this neck of the woods, by the way. Was there an event going on?
No, I was up snowmobiling again. Took 2 trips this year. I was up in Tug Hill. Big snowmobiler, and it was good, but starting to get a little thin in spots, especially when you come down off the hill. But the roads a little scratchy, but you manage. There's still plenty of snow up there.
It's a perfect description of my hairline, Ray. That's what you just outlined there.
Yeah.
Have a great day, man.
All right.
Good morning, Beth. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How was the commute in for you? It was
slick.
Yeah.
Slick. I was yelling at my vehicle going, come on, you're an all-wheel drive. Start driving like one. Yeah, I was doing my share of fishtailing on 49 and I'm only doing like 35 or 40 miles an hour. So,
yeah.
But I'm with you. I got up and looked out the window and saw like 2 inches of snow. I'm like, oh, come on, enough already.
I know.
We're already, 3 feet above our average this time of year. And I was like, this is not a race we want to win. let's just be done. I'm looking forward to, how in the springtime when the snow does start to melt and the snowbanks won't go from these beautiful big white snowy little mountains to giant piles of mud.
Yeah.
Kind of looking forward to that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to thaw out. It's shame on me. I should have taken that February break. It was only, 10 days ago and just gone south for a little bit. Although
no, that would have made it worse.
They've been dealing with a lot of the cold weather as well. I'm just so ready to move on from winter. Let me quickly run down some school closings and delays here. We've got all on a 2-hour delay. Adirondack, Camden, Dulgeville, Edmiston, Hamilton, all on a 2-hour delay. Hamilton, Holland Patton, Oppenheim, Euphrates, St. Johnsville, Remsen, Rome, Sherburne, Earlville, Stockbridge Valley, again, all on a 2-hour delay this morning. So are you in session for the market on this? What'll be the final day?
We're off this coming Saturday. So our next one is March already. March 7th, I think, is the date.
Sure, March 7th, and it's the same as the Heart Radiothon.
Yes. I'm actually going to be doing some, you'll see me on the 6th on Friday. I'll be at the registration table helping out there. And then Saturday we've got, I apologize. I'm not sure I'm remembering the name of the company, but a local company that's going to be doing some fresh screen printed reusable shopping bags for us at the market. So if you want to come down and get a nice fresh bag, we're going to have 2 or 3 different designs you can pick from, a couple of different colors, and you can the theme continuing to be shop local, support local. We're bringing in a local company that's been around for a short period of time that we're happy to support. And, all the usual things, all of our great vendors. We've had some fantastic new vendors start with us this winter. Really excited about the summer season this year. And there's a lot of really good things going on. So come on down and have a good time, enjoy the music, and get yourself a reusable shopping bag and go to town.
How'd the coffee tasting go this past Saturday?
It went great. We were really happy. I went over to get a cup of coffee a couple of different times, and I'd come back. I sat back down at the market table, and Audra's like, "Where's your coffee?" I'm like, "There's a line. There's a line. There's a lot of line. There's a lot of line there." So they were very happy. They got a lot of attention, which is the whole point. Just the exposure, the fact that you can actually taste their product. That little tasting experience, which I was politely corrected. It's called a cupping.
Okay.
But
for a coffee tasting?
For a coffee.
Okay.
Yep. They were also selling, the cups of coffee that people could walk around with and enjoy during the market. But it was great. It was busy. We had the first of our 3 workshops that we're running this winter season for seed saving, which is a really unique thing to do if you're into gardening. A lot of gardeners have done it. If, God forbid, Armageddon actually happens, those are the things that we're going to be depending on to feed the surviving population going forward. There's actually a global seed storage facility. I believe it is in Greenland. That could be wrong. Might be the Netherlands, where they're trying to save seeds from around the world. So if, God forbid, the worst of the worst happens, we have what we need to start supporting civilization again. So, I mean, it's
wow, that's scary. Where's Joe? Joe Load this morning.
It's a scary thought, but there's a lot of people who have been doing it for many years. Oftentimes you guys hear me talk about heirloom varieties of things, and those are the traditional, quote, old-fashioned, unquote, things. The heirloom tomatoes most people are familiar with heirloom tomatoes, where you can come in and buy a zebra-striped one or a black one or a one that's ripe when it's still green. Those are different varieties.
A black tomato?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No kidding.
But these are varieties of fruits and vegetables that haven't been, for lack of a better way to describe it, corrupted by modern propagation. Because a lot of times they'll be, you've heard of GMOs, genetically modified. And a lot of times if you're a farmer and you're growing corn, but you're growing 100,000 acres of corn, you can't necessarily use an heirloom variety. You gotta, it increases the per acre production, It increases a lot of times at that large of a scale the quality of the product that you're raising, and that the amount of time that you have from planting the seed to harvesting the fruit or the vegetable. But it detracts from the original genetic makeup of that particular plant. That's not necessarily a bad thing because of the levels that food production has to be in order to support the current population of the globe. But for those of us who do things on a smaller scale, maybe we're just feeding ourselves or our families, or contributing to food within our own communities. There's a growing feeling of wanting to support the originals, quote unquote, or the heirloom varieties. So seed saving is a good way to help you propagate from year to year. And there's a process to it. There's, how do you collect the seed? How do you store the seed? And oftentimes, even for seed saving on a larger scale, you have to periodically try to germinate what you've sold or what you've saved to make sure that it's still viable. You may have this beautiful mason jar full of sunflower seeds. And you go out in the springtime and you're proud of yourself for saving them, and they're still, they haven't molded or anything because you used an airtight container. But 4 or 6 weeks after you throw your sunflower seeds out in the soil, nothing happens because somewhere along the line you didn't do something you needed to, or you did something you shouldn't have, and the seeds were no longer viable. So, and there's sometimes it's just little nuances of things, but sometimes it's just knowing the basic technique. And this is not intended to be an in-depth thing at all. Our cut flower grower from Flora Root, Lisa, graciously stepped up to be the instructor. And it's just taking things step by step through the process of how to save seeds. So we had our first workshop this past market, the next one coming up, where we're actually taking some seed heads that I'll be harvesting in the fields over the next week or so, and actually learning how to extract the seed and then how to put it in a container to store for the winter, for the remainder of the winter. And then the next one in April will be actually planting some of these seeds in little solarium pots and to see if they're still viable.
Interesting. Yeah, it's when you talk about extracting the seed, obviously with like a pumpkin, and it seems like sunflower seeds, they're so plentiful.
They're easy, yeah.
It's easy, but in other circumstances, it's pretty intricate.
Yeah, some of them can be very, very, very tiny. I'm going to be the most of what I'm going to be bringing in is called yarrow, which is it grows wild here. It's actually an invasive plant, but it's used very heavily with landscaping, and it's been in the area for so long. It's been in this country for so long that it grows well on its own. And it spreads. We have part of our property we've let go back to natural meadow to support the butterflies and all the little good creepy crawlies that help balance the world. And I have yarrow every year. It's in a different spot because it has a very good self-dispersion method of throwing its seeds out and reseeding itself. A lot of the invasive plants do. But the seeds are very, very small. So it's a good exercise for people to understand how to go about doing it.
What do you destroy that particular plant or that particular I guess I'll call it a plant. When you extract the seed? I don't know if destroy is a good it grows in patches, so you wouldn't want to harvest the whole patch. Okay.
But by the time the plant's ready to, quote, give up the seed, unquote, it has dried out and died off. So the fact that you're physically taking that seed from what's left of the plant is actually manipulating the natural process of the plant dropping the seed to be, reborn the next growing season. So.
Sure. So, and you mentioned a workshop where you are, I forgot her name, Lisa?
Lisa, yep.
Where she's demonstrating how to do this and instructing how to do this?
Well, and we set up a small area. If you're interested in the next one, there's a registration form. Go on our Facebook page or on our website. You can click in. There's no cost to participate. And it's just, like I said, it's not intended to be, you're not going to feel like you're sitting in a college classroom listening to a lecture. It's a very low-key, very laid-back. If you really love the flowers or the vegetables or the fruits that you're growing, there's a way you can help yourself doing that better from season to season. And seed saving is one of the ways to do that. It's been done for many generations in many, many people's histories, family histories. But as the general public, usually when they think about getting seeds, you go to a big box store because they have big display. Some of them already have the big displays up of the, the little white envelopes with that have seeds in them, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you find something that grows on your property, or you tried something different, you planted an heirloom plant and you really loved what it produced and you want to try it again, this will teach you how to get the seeds to attempt to do it again.
All right, that's pretty interesting. I wonder, though, this facility, I will look up to see exactly where it is where they store all these heirloom seeds.
Yeah.
But what if that's close to the epicenter of whatever?
I know. I think about that.
Hammers
Thoughts
civilization.
like that make me lose sleep at night, so I try not to have those.
Yeah, for sure.
New code name for you, Jeff. Mr. Green Jeans.
Green Jeans, yeah.
From Captain
Got to get him a straw hat.
From Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I do not have a green thumb by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm not good in a kitchen either, so.
So you would be among the people that would starve then.
I think so, yeah.
You got to make friends.
I don't know how to do it, but my neighbor does.
There you go.
So it is why can't I think of it? Market this weekend. The next market
this
is
an
March
off
7th.
weekend for us. Yep, the next one is March 7th.
All right, it is 6:48. A quick timeout. We'll come back with more. It is First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary of American independence, the United States Mint is striking a groundbreaking American Silver Eagle coin. The 1776 to 2026 W American Silver Eagle is the first dual-dated coin in this series' history. Its inspiring dual date pays tribute to our nation's founding fathers, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the spirit of the American Revolution that lives on today in 2026. Now is your chance to get this first of its kind dual-dated American Silver Eagle in perfect proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, pre-sale slots are limited. With mintage of just 500,000 coins, this release is a true absolute rarity. Secure your 250th anniversary Silver Eagle now with Rare Collectibles TV exclusive pre-sale. Call 800-925-1544 now before they sell out. That's 800-925-1544. 800-925-1544.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Insera's. Log on to their website at InserasFlooringOutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Insera's Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, InserasFlooringOutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Insera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Breakfast burritos for the morning brainstorm. Easy Cater. Paninis for the lunch and learn. Easy Cater. Barbecue for the clients from Boston. Easy Cater. Brownie boxes and mini bundt cakes for Brenda's workiversary. Easy Cater. One simple platform to feed any size group with food they love from favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Easy Cater. All the food for your workplace, all in one place. Start an order at easycater.com.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
All right, no Bill today. We expect him back Friday. It is 6:51. So some sad news in the celebrity world. Martin Short's daughter, Catherine, has died. And they say it was an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. She was only 42. Catherine was one of 3 children adopted by Martin and his late wife, Nancy Dolman, who died of ovarian cancer in 2010. Martin's rep said, quote, "It is with profound grief that we confirm the passing of Catherine Hartley Short. The Short family is devastated by the loss and asks for privacy at this time." Short was scheduled to do a show with Steve Martin on Friday in Milwaukee, but obviously that has now been postponed. Sad story. We've all heard about hackers from Russia, scammers from Southeast Asia, and, of course, the Nigerian prince. There's so many of them, and they all want you to have their money. A new study looked into the
Still waiting for the check.
Most deceitful states where residents lie, cheat, scam, and steal the most. And no, the goody two-shoes in Utah are not at the top. So I would have to imagine New York does well on this list, with all due respect, where residents lie, cheat, scam, and steal. I mean, I can just think of Times Square. Oh, Freudian slip there. Times Square. I did it again. Times Square, and then the Strip in Vegas, where people are walking up to you, giving you blank CDs, trying to get $5 and $10 and $20 for blank CDs. They have the monks that put the bracelet on your wrist, and they tell you to sign the book, and you got to put down your donation.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So, according to this list, maybe I'm right. Nevada ranks as America's most deceitful state. And I think the Las Vegas Strip has something to do with that. With 1 in 5 residents admitting they often lie, and almost 60,000 reports of fraud per year. Here's the top 10 list. As I mentioned, Nevada was number 1. Rhode Island is 2. A whopping 40% of their residents admit that they lie frequently. In Florida, people in Florida reported the most identity theft cases per capita. And then from there, you have Delaware, South Carolina, Alabama, California, Arizona. I can't talk this morning. Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. So New York's not on the list.
It's just we don't even make the top 10.
No, we
that
don't.
kind of makes me feel a little better.
If it was a tax list, we'd certainly be at the top of it. Okay, on the other end of the spectrum, let's see, we're not on this one either. On the other end of the spectrum, North Dakota is the most trustworthy state, where no locals in the survey reported lying often. Of all the people they surveyed, none of them said they often lie. I wonder if that's a lie. And it had a minimal number of fraud cases. North Dakota is number 1 on the most trustworthy states, followed by Hawaii, South Dakota, Minnesota, Idaho, Montana, Ohio, Utah, Wisconsin, and Arkansas. Let's see. Who did this study? Overall, Americans tell an average of 11 lies per week. More than half say they have been cheated on, according to this study. I can tell you where New York was right here. If this will, let's see. They call it the deceit score, is how they came up with that.
Who's they?
The most deceitful states in the U.S. I don't know who did the study. It doesn't say who did the study. But New York, I can see New York here. It's middle of the pack. New York and Michigan.
Somebody that doesn't want you living in New York.
We're actually tied on this list.
But you notice that all the negative states tend to be below the Mason-Dixon line, and all the ones that claim to be honest are above.
Yeah, I think that's true, actually.
Except for Arkansas. Arkansas is south.
It's a good observation. And also, I mean, with all due respect, some of these northwestern states, I don't know how well populated they are. Or at least seems to me that it's somewhat of a different style of living. Like we're talking
definitely.
North and South Dakota.
Definitely. Yep.
You're kind of maintaining...
I mean, if you're in Fargo, you can't afford to lie to anybody because you may need that person to get through the next day.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So, I don't know, an interesting poll. Let's see here. I also wanted to mention there's a new diet trend out there. There's apparently a diet trend on Chinese social media called plastic wrap eating, where people are lining their mouth with plastic cling wrap, putting a bite of food in it, chewing it, and then spitting it out and tossing it. So it doesn't, I guess they're not using the plastic wrap to eat, but they're using it as almost like a liner in a trash bag.
Right.
So
see, that's right up there with the new fashion trend you were talking about the other day.
Of the cracks
from Vogue magazine of all places.
I don't know what's going on. I guess we have to keep things interesting. We have to do just weird things that variate from the norm, deviate from the norm, I should say.
Just to put it out there, I will always be of the generation that will swallow my food and hike my pants up.
It's weird. So it's like a wine tasting where you spit it out rather than swallow it.
Do they not understand the necessity of basic nutrition for the human body?
I guess not. It's supposedly a weight loss hack, but it's very dangerous for many reasons. Experts worry that it could intensify cravings more because simulating eating does not provide the body with the energy or nourishment. Yeah, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
There's also concern about stuff like it rewires your brain, can lead to you developing serious eating disorders like bulimia or anorexia. So, yeah, certainly this is another. And again, we say all the dumb stories come from Florida and all the stupid trends come from TikTok. We'll take a quick time out, break for news. We'll come back with more on WIBX.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley Mattress Express's President's Day sale is on from upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. No one else in New York State has all the brands under one roof that we do. And right now, save up to $1,350 on names like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, Therapeutic, Simmons Beauty Rest, Black Serta, iComfort, Avocado, and more. A full line of spa-grade massage chairs take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans. In Rome, on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. In Oneida, in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS. Don't overpay for your next mattress. Come to upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We're the members of IBW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
This is a Fox News alert, a record State of the Union. I'm Dave Anthony. Almost 1 hour, 48 minutes.
You've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America.
President Trump calling the State of our Union strong.
Today, our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast.
And with some Supreme Court justices seated in front of him, the president called their ruling last week, striking down most of his tariffs unfortunate. Then he said his new ones are even stronger, claiming
congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time tested and approved.
The president also touted his immigration crackdown, removing criminals here illegally, though some Democrats shouted back at him as he promised to crack down on sanctuary cities
that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens, in many cases drug lords, murderers all over our country.
More than 70 Democrats didn't even show up, boycotting the Trump speech. Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger delivered the formal Democratic response, saying he lied, scapegoated, and distracted.
Is the president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? We all know the answer is no.
President Trump also brought up Iran ahead of another round of indirect talks between the U.S. and Iran tomorrow as he threatens military action again if they don't agree to a nuclear deal.
I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
Well, there was a lot of applause for special guests honored by the president last night as well. And this got maybe the biggest cheer.
The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
And that led to a USA, USA chant as the players wearing their gold medals appeared. America's listening to Fox News.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pain, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your routine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Simply call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, don't let it keep you from living the life you want. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Well, for President Trump and Democrats shouted at each other during his State of the Union about his illegal immigration crackdown. A Trump legal victory for the IRS.
A 3-judge panel for the Federal Appeals Court for the D.C. Circuit declining to issue a preliminary injunction to an immigrant rights group suing the federal government over the data sharing agreement signed last year by Treasury Secretary Bessent and Homeland Security Secretary Noem. It allows the IRS to share with Immigration and Customs Enforcement data which can help identify people living and working in the country illegally. The court ruling the information being shared isn't covered by the IRS privacy statute. The acting IRS commissioner resigned last year over that data sharing deal. Jack Callahan, Fox News.
A win for the post office at the Supreme Court after justices stamped down a lawsuit.
The justice is ruling against a black Texas landlord who says her mail was intentionally withheld for 2 years, also claiming racial prejudice played a role. In the 5-4 decision, Justice Clarence Thomas writes for a conservative majority that a federal law shielding the Postal Service from missing or lost mail also includes the intentional non-delivery of mail. Justice Sonia Sotomayor's dissent argues lawsuit protection does not extend to not delivering mail for malicious reasons. The Trump administration had warned a ruling in favor of the landlord could lead to many more lawsuits against the Postal Service, which remains in debt. The Texas landlord, who filed numerous complaints with postal officials before suing, says the dispute led to tenants missing important mail and moving out. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are up modestly the day after a rebound clawed back some of the Dow's losses from a Monday plunge. The Dow gained 370 points. The Nasdaq went up 236. In college basketball, the top-ranked men's team, Duke, blew out Notre Dame by 44 points, 100-56. The worst home loss for the Irish since 1898. Notre Dame's first year playing basketball right after the game was invented. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox.
We have 25 degrees and some snow. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 7:05. This news update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. We do have some school delays this morning. The following are on a 2-hour delay. Adirondack, Camden, Dolgeville, Edmiston, Hamilton, 2-hour delay. And we continue 2-hour delays for Holland Patton, Oppenheim, Euphrates, St. Johnsville, Remsen, Rome Schools, Sherburne, Earlville, and Stockbridge Valley, again, all on a 2-hour delay. You can find that on our website at WIBX950.com. Several medical offices at Mohawk Valley Health System are moving to a new location. The MVHS Advanced Endoscopy Group, Cardiac and Thoracic Surgery Group, Neuroendovascular and Comprehensive Stroke Services, a surgical group and trauma group will relocate to the medical office building at 601 State Street. That takes effect today. Free parking is available in the Columbia Street parking lot next to the building across from the Wynn Hospital. The city of Rome is getting new leadership in the fire department as Fire Chief David Gratch is retiring after 36 years of service. He currently oversees nearly 80 firefighters and will help Deputy Chief Michael Riley transition into his new administrative role. Riley will officially become the Rome Fire Chief on April 3rd when a promotion ceremony is scheduled at City Hall. Nearly 9,500 pounds of meatballs sold at Aldi are being recalled, or are at least subject to recall. The supermarket chain, which has several locations in central New York, says there are concerns that the Bremer-branded frozen Italian-style meatballs could be contaminated with metal fragments. The meatballs have a best-by date of October 30th of 2026. So far, no injuries or illnesses have been reported. Anyone who purchased the product can return it to the store for a refund. And the Oneida County Sheriff's Office is congratulating Addie, a therapy dog who has just earned her certification as a therapy dog. Addie successfully completed training and is now certified through the Alliance of Therapy Dogs, a program whose mission is to share smiles and joy. The achievement reflects the dedication, hard work, and heart behind her journey. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 6:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
On target here this morning with a little snow coming in. There might be a touch of rain. Winter weather advisories, northern Oneida County and into parts of the Tug Hill Plateau and into the Adirondack State Park. That's where we may see a few inches as the lake effect will kick in back behind this front. So it's snow with maybe a little rain mixing in at times today. Still could see here locally an inch or so of slushy accumulation, especially on the untreated road surfaces. Upper 30s tonight. Snow around early down to 20, so we may have a little icy travel tomorrow morning. A chance of some snow or snow showers tomorrow through about midday, 28. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, 25 degrees and some light snow at 7:09. All right, from the IBEW 43 local sports desk, some NFL stories. The Buccaneers allowing one of their veterans to test the free agent market. General Manager John Light telling the media that Mike Evans has earned the right to explore free agency. He said they want the team's all-time leading scorer to retire as a Buccaneer. Evans is heading into his 13th season and was limited to 10 games this past year due to injuries. The Dolphins general manager telling the media that everything is on the table when it comes to Tua Tagovailoa. He said a trade is possible, but Tua's camp has not formally requested one. Releasing the 27-year-old before June 1st is definitely not on the table, however. The move would cost the team nearly $100 million in salary cap hits. Giants general manager addressing his role with the team after the NFL scouting combine on Tuesday. Joe Shane confirmed his role has not changed despite hiring John Harbaugh as the team's head coach. Shane said he's in charge of leading the entire football operation and will work in collaboration, as most good teams do. NBA action, the Knicks came up short 109-94 against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Jalen Brunson led New York in scoring with 20 points. The Knicks are now 37-22. They visit the Bucks coming up on Friday. The Brooklyn Nets topped by the Dallas Mavericks 113-114. Michael Porter Jr. had 26 points. The Nets are now 15-42 on the season. That was their fifth consecutive loss. And the Devils are back in action tonight. New Jersey returns to the ice following their break for the Winter Olympics. when they host the Buffalo Sabres in Newark. The Devils have 58 points. They hope to snap a 3-game losing streak.
I like how you used to do it when you used to do the sports when you were here before you came back the second time. The Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, yeah.
Where Rick Jennerat doing the play-by-play announcer.
Yeah, that is certainly a classic call of his. Is he still doing it? Is he retired?
No, he's retired. Or when he used to do the when Stu Barnes used to say Stu Barnes. Like anybody wanted to hear that this morning at 7:10.
It is 7:11. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. The mayor of Rome, Jeff Lanigan, scheduled to join us next hour. This hour, we'll be joined by Robert Smullen, current New York Assemblyman who is running for the seat currently held by Elise Stefanik, that is New York's 21st Congressional District Representative. We'll take a break and come back with more here on WIBX.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50-50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley Mattress Express's President's Day sale is on from upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. No one else in New York State has all the brands under one roof that we do. And right now, save up to $1,350 on names like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, Therapeutic, Simmons Beauty Rest, Black Serta, iComfort, Avocado, and more. A full line of spa-grade massage chairs take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans. In Rome, on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. In Oneida, in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS. Don't overpay for your next mattress. Come to upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say micro, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Our Senator, Kirsten Gillibrand, and Representative John Mannion are standing up for radio listeners like us by supporting legislation to keep AM radio in cars. They know the value of local radio in times of emergency. Now it's time for Congress to finish the job and pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Learn more at dependonam.com. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, host of Fox Across America. We're talking politics, pop culture, and comedy, minus all the rage and finger pointing. It's real talk for real people who just want to laugh, think, maybe learn something along the way. So join the fun weekdays at noon right here on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, Central New York's home for talk that's smart, honest, and just the right amount of crazy. Fox Across America with your main man, Jimmy Fallon.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we are back. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. It is 7:16. We say good morning to Lance, who hasn't thrown any criticism our way yet, and I apologize because I have this. It's not going to work. Deathly slow computer here.
Here's a comment from Matt in Clinton. Says Rick Jenneret passed away in 2023.
Oh, thank you, Matt. I guess I didn't realize that, obviously.
I think he had cancer.
How long before did he retire?
He retired in 2022, I believe, but I'll have to double check on that.
Okay, so we've talked a bit about the Epstein files and the fact that they're not being out and this massive cover-up and why we don't know information. But one of the names that has been publicly tied to it, or very powerful people, is Bill Gates. I guess he's admitted to having a couple of affairs with Russian women, who, while he was married to his now ex-wife Melinda Gates, and issued an apology for his links with the convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. This is via the New York Post. Gates, who is 70, told staffers at his foundation on Tuesday that he flew on a private plane with the disgraced financier and spent time with him at his in the U.S. and abroad, but did not participate in any crimes. And they're citing these quotes here from the Wall Street Journal. I did nothing illicit. I saw nothing illicit. To be clear, I never spent any time with the victims, the women around him. Gates first met Epstein in 2011, which was after the financier's Florida conviction for procuring a child for prostitution, and continued to socialize with him, seemingly ignoring the concerns raised by French Gates. Let's see. The billionaire has always denied wrongdoing over his Epstein links, but came clean about alleged affairs during his marriage. His marriage to French Gates, who filed for divorce in 2021, ending their 27-year marriage. Now that's Michelle French Gates. I was confused about that. Let's see. Bill risks going from the richest man to the biggest hypocrite. Melinda, did I say Michelle? Melinda, making her a laughingstock, and pledges will disappear as a result. Let's see. Just weeks earlier, Epstein sent a resignation email to himself where he seemed to be writing as Nicolic. Where is this story going? It looks like it's missing a paragraph here. But I don't think this is what we wanted. We didn't want Bill Gates to admit to an affair. We're looking for the people who were victimizing these young girls.
It just gets muddier and muddier. I just can't. And it's going to go on. And, people are going to argue that the files have been released, but they're so heavily redacted that they don't say anything. And it's supposedly only half of them, even though millions of them, quote unquote, have been released. That's only half of what's there. So.
Yeah, they claim that there's over 6 million, and they've released a little over 3 million.
Yeah.
And this most recent round, or the last round where they did the 3 million release, they had redacted the names of the alleged offenders, or the names of the people who were, how do I want to say this, allegedly
implicated?
Implicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't redact the names of the women who were named in the reports, the victims. It just continues to be somewhat of a clown show, and I don't understand why we're at this point, and I don't know that we'll ever know more than we know right now, unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, I think the whole situation has gotten to the point where is whatever released believable, or is it released in such a way that withholds clarifying information and I didn't know what the word is, incorrectly, falsely sets up people who were victimized by the situation as perpetrators of the situation.
It's I just would really love to know what Epstein's real power was, because I don't know that it was in the financial field. I don't know where he got all that money from, but he obviously had ties to multiple governments and was allowed to kind of do whatever he did without much repercussion.
Thing is, this is a glimpse at the ultimately darkest side of humanity. The primitive, darkest side of humanity.
An odd transition here. I apologize, but Fox News Radio's Jeremy Rosenthal joins us now on the phone for the Rosenthal Report. Good morning, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
Good. No bill in this morning, but we continue along anyway. What's the story today? This involves AI, and I think we're going to see a lot more cases and lawsuits tied to artificial intelligence. But can you explain what this one is?
Right. So first off, we got to make clear that before AI takes all the lawyer jobs away, it will provide us a lot of work litigating it. Right. So AI will give us and it will take away. Yes. From the legal profession. But unless you're one of those lawyers that's in on the action, you're kind of like me on the sideline, just sort of kind of analyzing it, but a lot of crazy stuff going on. The issue here is whether something you research on an open AI platform is privileged. And privilege sort of turns on your expectation of privacy and whether or not you're communicating to a lawyer in private, or even whether you're doing something on your own computer for the purposes of your own legal representation. And the court basically said when you're shouting down the hallway and telling everybody on the planet what you're looking at, which is what you're doing with AI, that it's not privileged.
So what is your take on that? Because I'm...
Yeah. So, okay, there's a couple different things. There's a couple different ways to look at it. And what happened in this case, and this is a case where a federal district judge, basically what happened was, this is a civil lawsuit. The person did some research on ChatGPT and then gave it to his lawyer. And then the other side wanted it, and the lawyer says, this is privileged. The guy gave it to me. It's privileged. And the court said, no, it's not, because the way it was created was, again, kind of shouting down the hallway, right, if you will, which to me is a little wonky. And this may be kind of a bit of a screwball opinion, because think of it like this. I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I get emails all the time that my client Googled an article and said, Jeremy, what do you think of this? And that's privilege. To me, that's privilege because it's my client's train of thought and it's a communication to me. Now, his Google search, if the FBI is raiding his house and takes his computer, that the Google search is not privileged, but him giving it to me, I think is. So I think this is a bit of a wonky opinion.
Interesting. What is the implication? And again, what was the case again?
I believe it was a civil case in federal district court, and it was a lower court ruling, which means that I don't know that we're going to necessarily see this specific issue appealed. But AI is more and more prevalent in the legal profession by the day. I think that practitioners who candidly don't use it are going to be sort of behind the curve. The dangers with AI, as far as the legal profession goes, I think can be eliminated by diligence, right? If I'm asking an open platform, what is the whatever, right? And it lies to me because that's the danger, right? AI will lie to you. So let's say it lies to me. Okay, fine. Well, when I'm reading those cases that it's giving me, it's got to pass the smell test, and we have to double check it for those parts. But when you're looking at these things, if AI is going to give you a 15-page brief, 5 pages might be crud, but the other 10 pretty good and save you time and save your client money.
Yeah, to be honest, I hadn't thought about what you said earlier about AI replacing attorneys. I guess I'm still not sold on that, but boy, have there been any cases? Well, I know we've seen it in what was it? RFK, the report there, the thing he sent out where it was citing false information or making up information.
Oh, which one?
Yeah. Has this happened in legal application yet?
Oh, yes. No, for sure. And what happens is courts are actually requiring lawyers to disclose when it is that they're using AI. The AI can hallucinate. And it's getting better. I use AI a lot. And it's getting better. And look, when I ask AI a question, and I say, tell me, what does the tax code have a soul, right? And what happens if 1 + 2 + 7? If I ask it a question,
okay,
and I kind of know the answer already, or I think I kind of know the answer already, but I'm just not 100% on it, I can read it and I can say, okay, I know that case, yes. I know that case, yes. I know that case, yes. And then I look at it and I say, okay, the Dallas Court of Appeals ruled on this identical issue in 1983, and I never knew about it. Let's double check that one. And then, yeah, sure enough, that's a bad apple. So those are the types of things that sort of happen. And I think the more we know that that's the danger, I think the more courts and lawyers are on the lookout for it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. It is scary. I'm more scared of AI than an asteroid, to be honest with you. Or something pummeling the earth.
You and Mrs. Rosenthal both. There's a lot of people don't trust it. We're sort of indoctrinated from the Terminator movies. But look, maybe they'll serve us cocktails on the beach before they destroy us. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that would make it just all better. That would just fix all the problems.
That's not setting the bar very high, though.
No.
Well,
for sure.
I mean, look, we may as well get something out of it, right?
Yes. Jeremy Rosenthal, appreciate your time as always. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
You too.
Smitty, we're going to break for news here. We'll take a break for news, come back with more. We're approaching 7:30. It's 7:28 right now at WIBX.
Hurt in a car? Call William Mattar. 315-444-4444.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show. The Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the Fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Breakfast burritos for the morning brainstorm. Easy Cater. Paninis for the lunch and learn. Easy Cater. Barbecue for the clients from Boston. Easy Cater. Brownie boxes and mini bundt cakes for Brenda's workiversary. Easy Cater. One simple platform to feed any size group with food they love from favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Easy Cater. All the food for your workplace, all in one place. Start an order at easycater.com.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair? What do you mean? Does it not look good? It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret. No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic. Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
We have cloudy skies, some light snow, and 25 degrees at 7:30. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaske. President Trump is announcing a war on fraud after claiming that Somali migrants in Minnesota have defrauded American taxpayers of $19 billion. Trump made that claim in his State of the Union address last night and claimed government fraud was much worse in other states, including California, Massachusetts, and Maine. A Democrat from Texas was escorted from last night's State of the Union address. Congressman Al Green of Texas held up a sign that said, "Black people aren't apes," a reference to an AI video shared earlier this month by President Trump, which showed Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. Americans in Mexico are no longer being urged to shelter in place. The warning was issued Sunday after Mexican authorities killed a top cartel boss, leading to outbreaks of violence across the country. The State Department said public transportation and businesses in Mexico are continuing to return to normal. Bill Gates is apologizing to staff of the Gates Foundation over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. The Wall Street Journal says Gates apologized Tuesday at a town hall where he acknowledged that he had 2 affairs with Russian women, but that the affairs did not involve Epstein victims. New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani says the city is up and running after the blizzard of 26. At a Tuesday news conference, Mamdani said Staten Island was the hardest hit borough with nearly 2.5 feet of snow. The mayor said more plows have been deployed as well as 500 sanitation workers to make roads passable. And Waymo says its driverless taxis are now available in 10 cities across the U.S. The robot taxi service said this week it was being rolled out in 4 new cities in Texas and Florida. Waymo rides are now available in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio, Atlanta, Orlando, and Miami. Beth, this scares me too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this coming up in just a second here, but we were talking about AI during the break, and I guess this is also a form of AI. For now, let's check in on your Weather Center forecast.
On target here this morning with a little snow coming in. There might be a touch of rain. Winter weather advisories, northern Oneida County and into parts of the Tokyo Plateau and into the Adirondack State Park. That's where we may see a few inches as the lake effect will kick in back behind this front. So it's snow with maybe a little rain mixing in at times today. Still could see here locally an inch or so of slushy accumulation, especially on the untreated road surfaces. Upper 30s tonight. Snow around early down to 20, so we may have a little icy travel tomorrow morning. A chance of some snow or snow showers tomorrow through about midday, 28. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, we have 28 degrees, cloudy skies at 7:33. So, Beth, we were just talking during the break, and Smitty, give me a number for the free money question.
You mean the amount?
Yeah.
$195 today.
All right, $195. We'll do that in about 10 minutes. Your Hobica Law Firm free money question of the day. So we were talking during the break a little bit about AI and artificially intelligent attorneys. So I guess, well, what were some of the concerns, I guess, that you said? You're essentially, we're training a society to not even think for itself anymore.
Exactly. And we always, my husband and I have this running joke. Excuse me. Remember the movie WALL-E?
Yes.
The little robot
that
survived.
I don't remember the theme, but I do remember the movie, and I remember actually the poster specifically.
And the humans in that movie survived in floaty chairs, and they could go through their whole life just by pushing buttons on the floaty chair. When AI started gaining some momentum, we both looked at each other and went, one step closer to floaty chairs.
Yeah.
I just think we're not doing ourselves any favors. We're just, and this is just my personal opinion, we're dumbing ourselves down.
Yeah.
And now, apparently we can't even trust the information that this, quote, new tool, unquote, that's supposed to make our lives better is offering to us. Like, where's the win in that? How is this making our lives better? It's just increasing our inability to trust the information that we have exposure to from day to day. Come on.
Yeah, and so I completely agree. It's almost in an odd way. It's like we got too smart for our own good.
Exactly. We can't get out of our own way now. Not for nothing, but if God forbid, the heavens say, "All right, enough. We're just going to shake the snow globe, and you guys are on your own. You have to figure it out wherever you land." The people who are going to survive are the ones that know how to A, protect themselves, and B, nourish themselves.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I don't care how fancy your computer is. If I know how to steal your stuff, take your life so I don't have to share my stuff, and that's an extreme example. But
no, but it's
come on, how far away do we have to step away from our own nature and proclaim that we're making our lives easier? Because we ain't.
So speaking of survival in a bad situation, that's where we kind of began this morning talking about seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess a few people sent you the actual facility where they hold these seeds.
Yeah, it's called this, and I apologize if I'm massacring how to pronounce this, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, which is on in the Arctic Svalbard archipelago of Norway, which is kind of cool. It's managed in partnership with the Crop Trust and Norgen, providing long-term storage of gene banks worldwide. The vault is located deep inside a mountain, utilizing permafrost for natural cooling, and holds millions of seed samples from nearly every country in the world. So, I mean, if you go underground, there are techniques, there are farming techniques where it's similar to a greenhouse because basically the hole that you create where you're going to be doing your planting and growing is capped with a glass cover to let in natural light and to help regulate temperature. But down below a certain level, it's usually 6 to 8 feet, the permafrost, the earth remains a constant temperature. It's usually 50 to 55 degrees. So that stability is life-saving for biological tissues, seeds being one of those things. So it makes sense that this is something that's put into a part of the environment that has that stability already built in.
Okay, now I'm going to bounce back into AI for a second because when we were talking about
One
lawyers,
extreme to another.
Well, no, it's just we went to AI with the legal stuff.
Right.
And you mentioned survival, so that's why I wanted to go back to the seeds. But when we were talking about attorneys, and actually Lance weighing in here, Smitty, I'll let you read that comment, and I'm not familiar with that, but hold on. I wonder, because AI is essentially a robot, and I've heard this 100 times, where it does what you program it to do.
Right.
Well, if you programmed some type of an AI platform or system because we're talking about it churning out incorrect information or being deceitful, if you programmed your AI to always be honest and forthright and essentially the moral moral epitome, the moral compass of what you'd want the perfect human to be, and always be out there and honest and not deceitful at all. And you program that into a lawyer, wouldn't you have cases where the lawyer just says, "Your Honor, my client did it, sentence him," right? Where, again, with all due respect to lawyers, you put up a defense of a client whether or not you think they're guilty or innocent, and
I wouldn't hire you as a lawyer.
Yeah,
Jeff.
well, and the thing is, too,
I'm not AI.
If you were,
I'm not that smart.
And I'm not a lawyer and have no legal training, but my understanding is a defense lawyer doesn't necessarily have to prove innocence.
Right.
They have to introduce a degree of questionability of that person's guilt.
Yeah.
Which in some cases is maybe the best the lawyer feels they can accomplish with the people that are sitting on the jury. Again, no background in law whatsoever. But at the same time, I mean, there's good and bad to everything. There are tools that 50 years ago never existed that our parents were like, "Oh, you're dreaming, that's never going to work." That we use routinely that over the course of time have made life better. But there are things, it just seems like the higher we think we have to set the bar, there's always the downside. There's always, what was it, 2 years ago when the actors were on strike because AI was going to rob them of, the rights of their talents. You know, their artistry was going to be robbed from them because AI was going to allow people who had nothing to do with what they did or how well they did it to steal what they were doing, whether that be a film or a performance or an opinion or their voice to be manipulated with a message that the actor had no idea was being created. So there's downsides to everything. And there's always a learning curve. I'm just afraid that we're getting into a realm of things that the things that we're trying to play with are very dangerous things.
Yeah.
And we're doing it with a level of confidence that it doesn't deserve yet. And we're stepping away from things that we can't do without, like our own ability to think and to deduce and to figure out what I mean, you show 5 people the same problem, they're going to come up with 5 different answers. Because every answer you come up with what your challenges are in life are based on your perspective. You know, your lifestyle, what you have to do when your alarm clock goes off in the morning, how many kids you have to raise, you know, if you have a family, if you don't have a family, what are your priorities? And that's just not something you can program into a computer that's always going to give you the right information at the right time.
Yeah, especially when you talk about things that relate to emotion, compassion, anger,
That's
stuff
what
like
makes us human.
Yeah.
That's what makes us human. And you can't, and I don't care how complicated the algorithm is, you can't build that into a computer. You just can't.
Smitty, can you read Lance's comment? I'll be honest, I don't know if you've ever heard this. I hadn't heard this. But go ahead.
This is the United County attorney that was working for the county that Tony dismissed. It says, Jeff, the United County attorney was demoted for using AI for false information on the Caitlin Connie case.
I did not know that. That must have happened when I was
when you were away.
I hadn't heard that. Wow, that's unbelievable to me. Yeah, I'm shocked at that. Thanks for the info, Lance. I appreciate it. You know who doesn't appreciate it, though, Lance, is Matt and Holland Patton. Matt says, I tune in every morning to listen to the Keeler in the Morning show with Jeff, Dave, and Beth. Not that POS Lance from his mom's basement in Lee. That's a little harsh, but I will share the comment. Thanks for the kind words for us, Matt. I appreciate that, but he's certainly no fan of Lance. We'll take a quick time out. We're going to push our free money question of the day into the 8 o'clock hour. Smitty, can you talk louder? We can almost hear you over there. We're going to push our free money question of the day into the 8 o'clock hour. We've got Assemblyman and congressional candidate Robert Smolin coming up next. It's First News Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show, the Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the Fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley Mattress Express's President's Day sale is on from upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. No one else in New York State has all the brands under one roof that we do. And right now, save up to $1,350 on names like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, Therapeutic, Simmons Beauty Rest Black, Serta, iComfort, Avocado, and more. A full line of spa-grade massage chairs take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans. In Rome, on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. In Oneida, in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS. Don't overpay for your next mattress. Come to upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair? What do you mean? Does it not look good? It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Breakfast burritos for the morning brainstorm. Easy Cater. Paninis for the lunch and learn. Easy Cater. Barbecue for the clients from Boston. Easy Cater. Brownie boxes and mini bundt cakes for Brenda's workiversary. Easy Cater. One simple platform to feed any size group with food they love from favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Easy Cater. All the food for your workplace, all in one place. Start an order at easycater.com.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, 7:46, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. We're joined now on the phone by Robert Smallin, current New York Assemblyman and a Republican candidate for New York's 21st Congressional District. He hopes to replace Elise Stefanik as a representative for the North Country in New York. But his first challenge, I guess, here is against Anthony Constantino, who is also running to be the Republican candidate. So we'll have a primary coming up this summer. Good morning, Mr. Smallin. How are you?
Good morning. Hey, it's great to be on the show. I hope Bill is feeling better. I heard he's out sick.
Yes, he's. It's that time of year. He's struggling to shake it. So he will be back with us shortly. But we appreciate you keeping the appointment here with us to do this interview because we got a lot of important things to talk about. Do you want to begin federal or state?
Well, let's talk about federal stuff. I mean, that's where I'm headed. I'm running for Congress. Things are going very well. In fact, we won the Jefferson County Republican Committee endorsement last night. That's our 11th endorsement that we've got from the GOP committees around this 15-county congressional district. It was a fantastic night. It was a unanimous vote. It even adds to our wins the night prior in Schoharie County and Lewis County. So we're doing very well this week. The campaign has got great momentum.
So 11 out of the 15, have the other 4 decided? Has Constantino won any of the endorsements, the county endorsements?
I have won every endorsement that the counties have issued. So things are going very well. We've got a few more, and we're very hopeful and optimistic about those. We've also won conservative county committee endorsements around the entire district, including in Oneida County, St. Lawrence County, Herkimer County, Warren County, Essex County. Things are going great, and we're continuing with those. In fact, the state Conservative Party has actually done their endorsement of us, and we're going to be on the ballot in November.
Okay, that's a great win for you. Do you think, with all of the endorsements you've racked up, and he doesn't have any county endorsements so far, do you think it's possible that he might drop out before the primary?
Well, I don't know that. What I know is I'm in this race to win it. I am the leading candidate. I am a sitting Republican legislator. I've got great support, not only from the county GOP committees and the county conservative committees, but endorsements from local officials. This really matters. In fact, I'm going to be rolling out some endorsements next week that are going to be absolutely fantastic. County leaders from across the district, my fellow assembly people that are elected by the people, that know the people, that support me. It's going to be a great coming week here for the Smallin campaign.
So I think it was earlier this week, your opponent, Anthony Constantino, was actually let out of a county meeting, a county Republican committee meeting. Can you talk about that? Obviously, you were there. You received the St. Lawrence County endorsement. But what happened at that meeting in your eyes?
Well, I was there to earn the committee's endorsement. It was during my time to speak when I had the floor. Each candidate had equal time. And when it was time to actually ask the committee members for questions, my opponent decided to interrupt the proceedings. He disrupted them. He would not listen to the chair's direction. The chair banged the gavel. He did not stop. And then that's when the sheriff of St. Lawrence County actually stepped in and escorted him from the room because he was being disruptive.
I guess he he was calling you a liar or asking why you lie so often. Do you have any response to that?
Well, that's what he said, and that's why a short while ago we had a press conference where we said enough is enough. The voters need to know, and particularly the Republican primary voters need to know, that I am the only conservative Republican in this race. I am the only one that had voted for President Trump from 2016 through the present, because I was the only one that was eligible to. In fact, he was a Democrat. He registered in 2018 as a Democrat during the first Trump administration. He re-registered as a Democrat in 2022 in Montgomery County, and he only registered in a Republican after November 2024 when he decided to run for Congress. So, the facts that are getting out there are really disconcerting, and people really need to know about them.
Let's talk more about your campaign ads. I'm not sure if we had a chance to speak to you about it, but I know Bill and I did discuss it. You have a campaign ad out there that seems, I never would have guessed this. And it's an online ad. It's not something that's airing on television, but it includes a couple of curse words, the F-bomb in particular. It's not you saying them. It's actually a clip from your opponent. Can you explain what those commercials are and why you went that path?
Well, my opponent has called me a bleeping coward. Now, I take great exception to that because I served in the Marine Corps for 24 years. I did 3 combat tours in Afghanistan. In fact, I was part of the first Marines that went into Afghanistan after 9/11. My unit, we were on Navy ships. We were the ones that did the air assault into Forward Operating Base Rhino in Afghanistan in 2001. And, frankly, I'm no coward. In fact, I went back twice more, once in 2006, 2007. And I was a combat advisor with the Afghan National Army in some of the tallest mountains in Afghanistan in the eastern part of the country. During that tour of duty, I was awarded the Bronze Star for my service during that time, and I was also awarded the Combat Action Ribbon during that period of time. So I'm no coward. And in fact, at that point, I had 3 children. When I went back for my third tour in Afghanistan, my son had been born at Camp Lejeune Naval Hospital, and I had 4 children. My wife and I, this was my 4th deployment, my 3rd tour to Afghanistan when I went back in 2011 and 2012. I'm no coward. I take exception to that. I demand an apology on behalf of all veterans who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, who have served in Vietnam, and God bless our Korean War veterans and those from World War II that are still with us. All veterans deserve an apology from my opponent on this. It's disgusting.
We're talking with current Assemblyman Robert Smullen, Republican candidate in New York's 21st Congressional District. I want to ask you about some energy issues in the state of New York. I think we're all feeling the pain right now. Before we get to that, did you watch the State of the Union last night from President Trump?
Well, I was able to listen to part of it, actually. I was on my ride back down from Watertown. I was in Jefferson County last night. I won the endorsement of the Jefferson County GOP committee. So I was unable to watch the address, but I was able to listen to it. And of course, I immediately put out a statement on it, and I was very excited to hear what President Trump had to say. I'm the only Trump-appointed person in this race. I'm the only conservative Republican in this race. So I was excited to hear the president's message at the State of the Union.
Let me ask you about your current position in the State Assembly. We have some energy issues here in New York. It's everything from, in this region, National Grid, the rates are 35% higher. It's part of a 3-year phased-in rate increase, which I believe the first year is the lightest increase, 35%, and by year 3 it represents a 50% increase. Your take on where we are right now when it comes to the energy needs in the state of New York?
Well, energy is a real mess, and it's because of one-party rule in Albany with the Democrats. I know all about it because I used to be the ranking member on the Environmental Conservation Committee. And when the Climate Leadership and the Community Protection Act was enacted in 2019, we predicted this. Energy rates are up 47% since that period of time. We actually had a press conference in Albany yesterday where I spoke about how federal laws are actually going to give some relief to our taxpayers, our ratepayers here in upstate New York. The energy costs have gone through the roof. Well, what's happening is that different energy sources are being favored and some are being banned. There's been the 100-foot ban on natural gas. And then what we've got going that's out there is that the renewables that have been put into place, the wind and the solar, aren't actually keeping up. So there isn't actually enough energy. We've taken energy offline since 2019, the Indian Point nuclear plant, and we're punishing those plants that use natural gas. We need to realize that we need an all-of-the-above energy approach: nuclear, hydro, wind, solar, but most importantly, natural gas plants. We should actually lift our ban on fracking in New York State and permit the pipelines that will allow us to carry natural gas throughout the state.
I did hear Governor Hochul talking about nuclear. I forget which community again, but you would support that for sure, right?
Yeah, so nuclear is one of the very most important parts of our energy mix in New York State. There are nuclear plants in Oswego that are actually very important to our energy mix. They provide almost up to 20% of the upstate New York's energy equation. Along with hydropower, which we've had for many years, it's very important. What we made a mistake, though, was to take the Indian Point plant in the Hudson Valley offline and then replace it with hydropower from Quebec, from our neighbors to the north in Canada, with a line that goes to New York City. We should have done both. We've got great energy needs that are being unmet. For instance, with these new AI facilities that are coming on, these data centers that New York is competing for, that it would be a great part of the new technology economy that's going. We need an all-of-the-above approach for energy, especially in upstate New York.
Let me ask you, actually, tell me more about these AI data centers before we move on from this.
Well, there's a lot of changes going on with information technology and with data. And AI means a lot of things to a lot of people. But what I'm specifically referring to is data centers. In fact, there's one that's being planned in my district for the old Remington plant in Ilion, which would bring up to 200 new technology jobs, advanced manufacturing jobs, right here to the Mohawk Valley. Those sorts of data centers are absolutely critical to the economy going forward. New York is competing with other states, and unfortunately, we're a very high-tax, high-regulation state. So we're facing some headwinds with those because companies, it's hard to do business in New York. We're either number 49 or 50 when it comes to taxes, and when it comes to regulation, we're one of the last. We're in the bottom third of states for regulation. So it's very difficult for companies. These are the issues that we need to be talking about in this campaign, not about the antics that are going on the campaign trail.
All right, and then let me ask you, do you expect Governor Hochul to repeal or roll back some of her mandates as it relates to the grid, electric buses, and some of the, what's the other one? New construction can't have natural gas hookup. Do you expect her to change course on this?
She absolutely needs to. Whether she will or not will be a question of whether she's beholden to the Democrat socialists in New York City that are driving this train. And, the Green New Deal is a bad deal for New York, and we are absolutely pushing for it. One of the biggest things that I've been pushing for is to relieve the electric school mandate on rural schools in upstate New York. An $8 to $15 billion bill doesn't add a single hour of classroom instruction for our kids, but we're being forced to pay for it ahead of time before the technology is even ready. It's absolutely ridiculous. I proposed a bill that would allow schools to opt out. Every school that I've asked would opt out if they could. That means that mandate is oppressive. It's an extra tax on the taxpayers of upstate New York, and it needs to be repealed.
All right. Current New York State Assemblyman Robert Smullen and the Republican and conservative candidate for New York's 21st Congressional District looking to replace Elise Stefanik as a member of Congress. We appreciate your time this morning, Mr. Smullen.
Thanks so much for having me on. It's always great to connect with the listeners on WIBX.
We appreciate you taking the time to do that. So we're wrapping up here this 7 o'clock hour. It is 7:59. It'll be interesting to see. I almost have a feeling now that Constantino drops out before we even get to the primary because I don't think he has the backing of any counties. The other thing is Lance has a comment here on his support on, let's see, Mr. Smullen believe. We'll get to this next hour, Lance. I'll answer that. Coming up.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
This is a Fox News alert. President Trump makes history on primetime TV. I'm Dave Anthony with the longest address to Congress ever.
The state of our union is strong.
And he went on for about an hour, 48 minutes.
The roaring economy is roaring like never before, and our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked, and America is respected again.
The president touted lower inflation and his new tariffs, critical of the Supreme Court decision last week that struck down the old ones. And he brought up Iran, which he has threatened to attack militarily again.
They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon.
The president also continued his push to crack down on illegal immigration.
We are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast.
And then the president asked anyone who agrees that the first duty of government is to protect Americans, not illegal aliens, to stand up. And when Democrats stayed seated, the president said,
"Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself."
Well, you can hear some Democrats shouting back at him. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar yelled he should be ashamed of himself. More than 70 Democrats were no-shows boycotting the Trump speech, and as Fox's Gernal Scott reports, Virginia's governor delivered the formal Democratic response.
Governor Abigail Spanberger took on tax cuts promised in the big beautiful bill, saying they were offset by the use of tariffs, and at the same time called out the president's party.
Republicans in Congress, they remain unwilling to assert their constitutional authority to stop him.
Spanberger accused President Trump of worsening America's issues and said to deflect from them,
He lied, he scapegoated, and he distracted.
There were also special guests honored last night.
Here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud.
The U.S. men's gold medal winning hockey team. America's listening to Fox News.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pain, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your routine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Simply call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, don't let it keep you from living the life you want. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
While President Trump again vowed to not let Iran get a nuclear weapon, there is a new round of U.S.-Iran indirect talks tomorrow and a covert U.S. operation.
The CIA has posted a text-based video on X, Instagram, and YouTube. It's written in Farsi and gives tips to Iranians on how to get in touch. The video follows similar posts in Russian, Korean, and Mandarin, but comes as President Trump considers possible military strikes on Iran. In a sign of new unrest, students held anti-government protests on Monday at universities in the capital, Tehran. The CIA's tips include using a virtual private network, or VPN, to circumvent internet restrictions and the use of a disposable device that can't easily be traced back to the user. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Another U.S. adversary that already has nuclear weapons won't like this. North Korea. Today's announcement that the U.S. and South Korea will play war games next month, annual springtime joint military drills. In the past, North Korea has called those invasion rehearsals, prompting them to launch weapons tests. A Republican in Congress is under more scrutiny.
There are scattered but growing calls from other Republicans for Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez to end his re-election campaign or resign.
I will not resign. I will not resign. And I serve the people of Texas every single day.
He's denied accusations of an affair with a senior aide, Regina Ann Santos Aviles, who died after setting herself on fire in September. Her husband shared explicit text messages made public Monday that he says Gonzalez sent to his wife in May, days before the affair started. Gonzalez has accused the husband of trying to blackmail him and blames his primary opponent, Brandon Herrera, for politicizing the issue. Herrera is a popular YouTube star who makes gun videos. He lost to Gonzalez in a primary runoff in 2024. This year's primary is next Tuesday. Chris Foster, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising, so the rebound may continue from Monday's sell-off. The Dow yesterday clawed some losses back, gaining 370 points. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have cloudy skies, 28 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Several Mohawk Valley Health System medical offices moving to a new location in Utica. The MVHS Advanced Endoscopy Group, the Cardiac and Thoracic Surgery Group, the Neuroendovascular and Comprehensive Stroke Services, and the Surgical Group and Trauma Group will relocate to the medical office building located at 601 State Street. Patients with appointments at these offices on or after today will be seen in the new facility, and free parking is available in the Columbia Street parking lot across from the Wynn Hospital. The City of Rome preparing for a new fire chief. Fire Chief David Gratch has announced that he will retire after 36 years of service coming up this spring. Now, Gratch currently oversees nearly 80 firefighters. He will help Deputy Chief Michael Riley transition to the new administrative role. Riley will officially become chief on April 3rd when a promotion ceremony is scheduled at City Hall. A recall involving meatballs sold at Aldi. Nearly 9,500 pounds of meatballs sold at Aldi are the subject of a new recall. The supermarket chain, which has several locations across central New York, says there are concerns that the Bremer-branded frozen Italian-style meatballs could be contaminated with metal fragments. The meatballs have a best-by date of October 30th of 2026, and so far no injuries or illnesses have been reported. Anyone who purchased that product from Aldi can return it to the store for a full refund. And the United County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in congratulating a dog named Addie, who has been certified as a therapy dog. Addie has successfully completed her training and is now certified through the Alliance of Therapy Dogs, a program whose mission is sharing smiles and joy. The achievement reflects the dedication, hard work, and heart behind her journey. And sheriff's deputies say if you see Addie out and about in the community alongside investigator Ed Constantine, be sure to say hello as they continue sharing comfort, compassion, and plenty of smiles throughout Oneida County. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 8:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
On target here this morning with a little snow coming in. There might be a touch of rain. Winter weather advisories, northern Oneida County and into parts of the Tokyo Plateau and into the Adirondack State Park. That's where we may see a few inches as the lake effect will kick in back behind this front. So it's snow with maybe a little rain mixing in at times today. Still could see here locally an inch or so of slushy accumulation, especially on the untreated road surfaces. Upper 30s tonight. Snow around early down to 20, so we may have a little icy travel tomorrow morning. A chance of some snow or snow showers tomorrow through about midday, 28. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, 28 degrees and cloudy skies at 8:09. All right, in sports, the Jets say they are likely to bring back one of their top offensive players next season. General manager Darren Mogley said Tuesday that the plan is for the Jets to keep running back Breece Hall with a new contract or with a franchise or transition tag. The deadline for applying a tag is March 3rd. The franchise tag for a running back is projected to be $14.5 million, while the transition tag projects at $11.5 million. The Giants general manager addressing his role with the team since the hiring of a new head coach. His comments came at the NFL Scouting Combine on Tuesday. Joe Shane confirming his role has not changed despite the hiring of Harbaugh as the head coach. Shane said he's in charge of leading the entire football operation and will work in collaboration as most good teams do. Well, the Giants haven't been a good team in like 10 years. I think one playoff appearance in the last decade. I could be wrong. Maybe we got in once with McAdoo. We got in once with McAdoo.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
And then we got in once
Did you get in with Joe Judge?
I don't think so. I think we got in once with Daboll.
Yeah, you did. Daboll's first year.
First year, yeah.
And you got high hopes for the Giants for next season.
I do, although I have to say, I can check it right now. I was listening to...
Well, you got Jackson Dart as your quarterback, and you got Can Scattaboo, the bowling ball, coming back.
Yes, and Malik Neighbors, who I think is a wide receiver, is going to be certainly one of our best options. Where am I going here? Okay, I'm on DraftKings. I'm trying to see if they have the NFL futures for next year yet. I kept saying I wanted to put a bet down that the Giants would make the playoffs. I found out yesterday there's a sports talk show in New York City that I checked in on. I don't see it here yet. Maybe I can find it during the break. And they were talking about the overs and unders, the opening overs and unders for next season. Do you know what the over and under is for the Giants?
Like plus 2,500?
No, it's I'm sorry. So I want to bet on the odds of them making the playoffs, which I don't know what it'll be, but it could be in that range that you said. But this is your over under win total.
Oh, is it over 6?
It's over 6, which I don't know. Again, the last 10 years we don't get over 6 wins all that often. But they still have the Giants as a sub 500 team. The over-under was 7.5.
Oh, wow.
So that kind of surprised me a little bit. Maybe the whole world, the football world, isn't as convinced as I am that the Giants will be significantly better. We'll have to wait and see. And before we move on from this, let me check in with Nabel here. So, you know Nagel's an Eagles fan.
Yeah, big Eagles fan.
Yeah, a big Eagles fan. As much as an Eagles fan as you can be. Nagel and I sometimes make little side bets on whether it's head-to-head, Eagles-Giants, or whatever the case might be.
We love Nagel.
So he heard me pounding my chest about the Giants getting John Harbaugh and that I thought they were going to be a playoff team. So he said to me, do you want to bet on it? Let me see here. I guess we chat more than I thought because I'm going back further than I expected to. But he asked me, did I want to make a wager on whether or not the Giants were going to make the playoffs? And I said, Nagel, to be clear, I'm not saying that the Giants will win the division. Maybe they won't. But whether or not they will make the playoffs. And he said, okay, do you want to bet on it? I'll bet you a brand new hat. Okay, so either a Giants or an Eagles hat. And he messaged me this morning to say he's already picking out his new hat. So we'll see what happens, Nagel. I do think the Giants will make the playoffs. And do you know NFL hats now are like $50? Have you bought one recently?
No, I haven't bought any new hats lately.
I remember looking during this season. So it seems
you know
like,
me with hats. I love them.
Well, the NFL this year went to a newer style hat. I'll use the Bills as an example. It's the Bills color blue, but it's just a little square in the center of the hat, and it's got the Bills logo in it. And they did this for every team. So like the Bears have the little square, and it's got the C logo in it. Same thing with the horrible Eagles and all that stuff. But those hats are like $50 for a baseball cap, a football cap, whatever.
And speaking of the Bills, yesterday they came out with their official emblem for the opening of the stadium that they're going to be wearing on their jerseys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So, anyway, we'll see, Nagel. The Knicks lost last night. Unfortunately, they fell to the Cavaliers 109-94. The Nets lost to the Mavericks 123-114. It was their 5th straight loss. They're now 15-42. Syracuse plays on Saturday. No?
Yeah, Wake Forest 5:45, and then a quick turnaround on Monday, Louisville, 9 o'clock.
Why were you shaking your head no?
Because they're not going to. They're playing Wake Forest. You think they're going to go out and have a 100% game?
I mean, they hung with UNC for the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, but they gave up the last 12 minutes.
ACC tournament's just around the corner too, by the way.
The ACC tournament starts the week of March 8th.
Speaking of conference championship tournaments,
Utica College women today to 3 o'clock begin their quest for the UCHC championship. They play at the Odd at 3.
3 o'clock this afternoon at home.
At home, and if they advance there, they travel on Saturday to go to Elmira.
And then the men will play on Saturday night, 7 o'clock. I think their opponent is determined tonight with quarterfinal action, so they'll get the lower seed. So the Pioneers women this afternoon, 3 o'clock at the Adirondack Bank Center, and the men will play Saturday night at the Adirondack Bank Center.
And the number 2 ranked team in Division III hockey, Hamilton, plays Saturday at their rink at 3 o'clock against Connecticut, and we will have Coach Haberstone on Friday to talk about that game.
All right, very cool. Good job, Smitty.
Smitty's like an ESPN encyclopedia.
Yes, he is.
Thank you.
And do you have the time and the channel on those games, by the way, Smitty?
No.
Also, do you have the betting line?
I have to call somebody to do that.
What the coach had for breakfast? What was on the team buffet? The buffet line. It's 8:15. A quick timeout. Rome Mayor Jeff Lanigan is in the building. He'll join us next here on WIBX.
If you're like most Americans nearing retirement with money in a 401k or IRA, then listen carefully. The U.S. dollar is under pressure. Foreign nations are reducing reliance on the dollar, and some analysts are openly warning about the long-term stability of U.S. currency dominance. Whether you call it currency debasement or the collapse of the dollar, the risk is real. And when confidence in the U.S. dollar shifts, gold and silver historically respond. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 to get your free gold investment kit. You'll also receive a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Most American retirement accounts are dramatically underallocated to precious metals, even as central banks continue buying gold at record levels. Many Americans are rolling over a portion of their retirement savings into physical gold and silver, tax and penalty-free with Advantage Gold. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. Results vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
At Mohawk Valley Health System, nursing is more than a career. It's a calling.
I just love the family environment. Everyone's so helpful, so encouraging. Everyone here is amazing.
Whether you're starting your journey or ready to grow, MVHS offers competitive pay, career development, and a place to belong.
Everybody wants you to succeed, and I feel like the patients and families also feel that as well. My team helps me grow here.
Mohawk Valley Health System. Change lives, starting with yours. At Mohawk Valley Health System, we're investing in nurses like never before.
Working at the Wynn Hospital in the OR has given me the opportunity to not only enhance my critical thinking skills, but also my autonomy.
With competitive new rates, career development programs, and a culture built on support.
I love the team that I work with on the 7th floor.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I'm not just part of a team, I'm part of a family.
You'll grow your nursing career with great pay, a supportive team, and real opportunities.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I can find my niche and grow.
Change lives, starting with yours.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50/50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
It's time for a Utica tradition, America's greatest heart run and walk on March 7th. And on March 6th, it's the 55th anniversary of the WIBX Heart Radiothon. Sponsored by the Slocum-Dixon Medical Group this year, the Radiothon started when local runners honored the passing of WIBX personality Ralph Ellinger. They ran for 18 miles and raised money for the American Heart Association. Celebrate with us on March 6th. Hear from Slocum-Dixon doctors about ways to be healthy. Cheer on participants in the treadmill challenge and help fight heart disease.
100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Back here, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. It's 8:21. We had a laugh during the break there. The 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees are out. And one in particular caught, I was joking saying I don't know why they don't make it the Music Hall of Fame, because a lot of these artists are not in the rock and roll genre. But one caught your attention, Mayor. It made me laugh as well. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominee,
Wu-Tang Clan.
The Wu-Tang Clan. Because nothing says rock and roll like Wu-Tang.
And listen, I grew up on the Wu-Tang Clan.
So did I.
Yeah, but
I loved it.
I could imagine them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It was not rock and roll. It was hip-hop, rap, you call it what you want, but it was certainly not rock and roll. And this is kind of one of the running jokes every year that when this list comes out, you go, well, that's not. Mariah Carey? She's on the list this year. Let's see. Who else is maybe an odd one? There's some fitting ones. In Excess, New Edition, Luther Vandross, Wu-Tang Clan, there it is. Mariah Carey, Iron Maiden, Black Crowes, Billy Idol. There are more. I'm sure we'll be doing a segment
Phil
on
Collins,
this.
that's a good one.
I'm surprised. How is he not in yet?
Yeah, it was kind of shocking to see that he wasn't already.
Pink and Shakira, too.
Pink and Shakira. Again, nothing says rock and roll like Shakira. Let's see. A lot of topics to get to. As a matter of fact, Mayor, welcome. One of them I had in the news update this morning. You have a new fire chief coming to the city of Rome?
Yes, absolutely. Made that announcement yesterday morning at a press conference promoting Deputy Chief Mike Riley to fire chief when Dave Grotch retires in the beginning of April. Great addition, Mike. Mike has been an intricate part of that department for so many years, and he's been a leader throughout. And I'm really excited and honored to make that promotion and get to see what he's going to do with that department. So,
and over the next month or so, you got a little transition period. He can kind of show him the ropes.
Yeah, and that was a great thing. Chief Grotch has done a great job, and I was able to promote him in 24 to the position of chief. And he came to me and said, "These are my plans. I'm looking to retire in the beginning of 26." I said, okay, just let us know when, and if you give us enough time to be able to have that transition period to bring the new chief in, that would be wonderful. So he came and gave us the date of April 3rd of this year, and we were able to start the process right away. And now he's going to have a good, little over a month to work with Mike and get him transitioned into that position.
Let's stick with the fire theme. Obviously, the city of Rome had a tragedy recently where a gentleman had gone back into a burning building to try to save his dog.
Yes.
He never made it out alive, but we have kind of an update on the future of that building.
Yes. So that is very sad. I'm a dog lover. I can only imagine if I was going through that same circumstance, if I wouldn't try to go back in to save one of my dogs. So very unfortunate. We're so sorry to him and his family. But yes, we just got an update that we were concerned. It's kind of right in that, that row of buildings there on East Dominic Street. When one of those has to come down, it kind of leaves that missing tooth effect over there. So we were concerned with what was going to go on with the building. And we talked with the property owners, and they're going to rehab the building. So the building's not going to come down. They're going to do a gut on the inside. It's a 3-story building, and J.R. Mothers used to be on the bottom floor. All of us from the old bar scene of Rome remember J.R. Mothers. You always ended up there at the end of the night for breakfast. And but they're going to rehab those 3 floors, and they've been a wonderful partner and property owner. So I think they'll do a great job. So.
Can we talk about the weather a bit? When I was with FedEx there for a while, I'm telling you, I used to say this, and the other guys in Rome would agree too. It snows every day in Rome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Every day.
And that's one of the questions I get. I joke all the time that I'm the weather mayor. I brought a tornado and some of the worst winters that we've had in recent years, and the microburst in June of this past year. And I get that question all the time: listen, can you do anything about this weather? Can we get some sunshine? And even this morning, when I woke up this morning, I saw a delay in Rome for 2 hours, and I didn't know we were going to get that much. And then I walked outside, and I'm like, "Wow, we did get kind of buried again." I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. We just got to kind of sit back and ride it out.
Certainly can't control Mother Nature, and there's nothing we can do about it. But I'm just wondering from a budgetary standpoint, and maybe this already exists, because we talked to Mayor Galimi, and we had Councilperson Aiello on yesterday, and Comptroller Frank Miola. But one of the things is costs and budgeting, and obviously you're well aware of that and have to do that for the city of Rome. The investment in salt, would it be beneficial if the region pitched in? We hear this a lot with like insurance rates or whatever, the bulk buying, the group buying, you tend to get a better rate. Is there a program that exists, or would you be interested in partnering with other municipalities around here to get a better rate on salt? Because I don't know how much do you budget for salt? How much do you spend on stuff you just throw on the road?
Honestly, so ours is about $600,000 that we budgeted this previous year. The problem is you have to project that out. You have to say, hey, how bad is our winter going to be?
And you never know.
And you never know. And what happened is we had those years where we had such a light winter that when that happens and you have so much left over at the end of the year, that coming year you go, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't need
the line item shrinks.
Yes, it
over
shrinks.
time.
So when I came in, and I'm not blaming anybody, there were light winters. So that number had come down. So then all of a sudden we get hit with these bad winters. Now we're going over $200,000 in the budget. So the next year we go, okay, well, let's up at $100,000. Then we get hit even worse. And the bad part about in the city of Rome is my fiscal year runs from January to December, the actual calendar year. So if I have a bad winter in November and December, that's my that's my current year's budget, which I already, if I had a bad January, February, March, I've already exhausted all of it.
Yep.
Yeah. And we got hit with that just recently in 2025. 2025, January, February, March were terrible last year. We got killed. Then we come in, we get hit with that early snow in December. We're already over budget. We need to be overtime, salt, everything. So it's a difficult line item to have to try to project out. But we're always looking for ways to try to save. I mean, we get state pricing on salt, so it's kind of we have a discounted rate already, and we work together. I know me and Mike last year, he ran low on salt, called us. We'd had a stockpile, so we sent some out to try to help out. But then at the point, we can't leave ourselves short.
Sure.
It was difficult to get from some of the places. They weren't delivering, or it was taking them a delayed amount of time to get here with deliveries. So it was a very difficult process. This year, we haven't had that issue this year, thankfully, knock on wood.
Over.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm sure with that, the way it's been going so far, I'm sure we're going to be pretty close to hitting that item line already at the beginning of this year.
So this is something already that's kind of done. It's a state rate you get.
Yeah, so we get So it's kind of, but there's you get it from different dealers throughout the whole state, and then sometimes you have to go to you might have to wait for somebody from Jersey or someplace else because people run low here. If we have a bad winter, everybody's pulling from the same stockpile.
Sure.
So if I'm calling for tonnage and Mike's calling for tonnage, if it's not there, it's not there. You got to go outside and get somebody else to ship it in. So
I know you got to be excited as we continue to look forward to Chobani coming, the jobs and everything that goes along with that. And recently, They had for the third time expanded what the footprint is going to be, and the planning department went ahead and approved that. Can you talk about that upcoming project and how big that'll be for the city of Rome?
Absolutely, it's an amazing project, and we're so excited to have them. They've been great partners already. They just opened up their office at the bottom floor of one of the Air City lofts. They just put in a beautiful space there that they're going to be doing their hiring processes and things like that. And their construction team is working out of there now. They started at 1.4 million square foot for that facility, which is tremendous in itself. But they've gone back now, as you said, twice to the planning board and expanded. They're probably around now 2.1 million square feet that they've expanded that facility already. And I don't think they're done. I think you're going to see Hamdi is great, and he's really trying to make this not look like an industrial site. I mean, he's truly making this look like a piece of art that's going to be out there for everybody to see, and they're so excited with coming to Rome in this area, this whole region. So it seems, every month we get something new that's coming in. And, sometimes when you talk about these projects, when people talk about changes, they're trying to save money. We had to cut back on this. We had to cut back the costs. This is not that. Every time they come back, we need to come back, but it's because we're expanding. We're doing something different. They're investing more money into this plant. So it's going to be amazing. It really is. It's for the community, it's going to be great. For the workforce, it's going to be great. For the housing market, it's going to be great. I mean, altogether, for the restaurants, I mean, for everybody, it's going to be a wonderful addition to our community.
I want to ask you more about housing in a second. Is there a publicly projected opening date for the facility?
I don't think they've done anything publicly. They took the trees down this current winter. They were able to clear the land, so they're going to be breaking ground this spring. And we just finalized the plans and got the contractor for the force main that's going to be going to our sewage plant. So all that stuff is kind of kicking off now. I don't think they've given a new. I mean, I know when they originally made the announcement, their Q4 of 2026 this year was their projected date. I don't know if they've publicly made any announcements regarding that, if it's going to be a little bit delayed, but they're kicking off, and I know how they are. They're going to push this, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to make this project happen.
There's so many moving parts to this project that people that are vital to the success of the project. But when the project is done, people are never going to see it, like the infrastructure, you just mentioned, the water, the sewer, the electrical, the roads. Yep. I imagine you're working with, or somebody's working with, like New York State DOT.
Oh yeah,
for the roads just coming into Rome before you even get close to the plant, because the amount of traffic that this area is going to see to feed the plant, and all those things that are wrapped around what people are going to be able to drive by, and
there's so much that goes into these projects that the common people don't know that like
they're just not aware of it. Yeah, it just happens.
Yes, it just happens, and those are behind the curtain type of conversations that we have.
Yep.
And with 825 is not that old of a road, but now we have to adjust it because of the amount of traffic that's going to be coming in, because of the truck traffic,
throughway exits,
everything.
Yep.
And on the city side, the whole infrastructure, getting the water to them, getting the discharge from them into our plant. Can our plant take on that amount of discharge? I mean, you're talking at the peak of their plant, an additional 3.1 million gallons of discharge a day that's going to be coming into our plant. And so those are what my team currently right now, and I just had a meeting yesterday morning with my staff that my Public Works Commissioner, Joe Giuliano, he is now 3 days a week in meetings regarding the Chobani project, because we have to be on it every single day that there's something that's coming down. But like I said, they've been incredible to work with. The county, Tony and his team has been a great partner in this project as far as just making this happen for our community, for Oneida County, and for the region. So,
could a project like Chobani finally get Rome its own throughway exit? It's deserving, isn't it?
I agree. What do you think, like a 32A?
Yeah. I mean, why not? They do
Syracuse has it.
That's true.
Syracuse has 34A.
They got 34A.
Yeah.
So that's a great question, and I think next time you have Joe Griffo on, I think we should pose that to him and Tell him he put Woodstock. He put Rome on the map with Woodstock '99. He can put us on the map with Exit 32A.
For sure. I think everybody would be all for it. But you talk about the trucks that'll be coming and going. That's a lot of wear and tear on some local roads, those heavy trucks. So
absolutely.
I mean, you're talking about tonnage of milk coming in every day. Would they say 10 to 12 tons of milk?
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, and then how much tonnage of yogurt going out?
Exactly.
So
it's going to be getting shipped out of there. So.
Let's talk about something that goes along with that, the housing situation. I know there were some projects in the works in the prior administration. Any updates on those? And where are we with new housing stock, I guess, as we prepare to welcome a bigger workforce?
So we've got some great projects that are going to be kicking off very shortly. Bonaccio, they were the developers of Air City Lofts that are up on the business park right now. They have shifted over onto Floyd Ave into the Woodhaven project, and they had built some single-family homes that were for sale on Park Drive. And I think I want to say they have about 12 that are built over there. They're finishing up 3 or 4 right now that those will be going onto the market. But they're going to stop that development over there for right now. They're going to shift over the new road that we just put in off of Woodhaven. They're going to build off of that. So the Legacy Fieldhouse project is on the left-hand side of that road, and then their housing project is on the right-hand side. It's going to wrap around the circle over there. And they're going to do some multifamily complexes there and then shift into some townhomes. And then deeper into that Woodhaven facility is going to be single-family homes for sale. They're breaking ground. They've been to the planning board. They presented the project. It's going to be amazing. They do a great job. Bonaccio is a great developer, and they're an incredible partner within our community. They come out of Saratoga, which they've done great things out there. So they're going to be kicking that off in the spring of this year. We'll start to see that. Essentia Health, they're doing the 55 and over project up off of Potter Road. And what you're going to see with that project is you're going to see a lot of our older residents. They don't want to leave those big family homes that we have throughout our city because there wasn't any place for them to go that they felt comfortable. A lot of them are snowbirds. They go down to Florida for the wintertime. They come back up, and they're in these giant homes within these neighborhoods with our community, but they didn't have any place to go. They're now going to be able to shift up to that Essentia community that they're building up there, which is incredible. If you haven't seen that project, you got to check it out. It's beautiful. I think we're going to see a lot of them move up to there, do their snowbird thing out of the condos and townhomes that they're going to have up there, go down to Florida for the winter and come back. So that's going to open up a lot of our neighborhood homes that have been held just because these people their
had no place to go.
Yeah, these kids are gone. They're living in these 3,000 square foot homes. They don't use 75% of the house, but they just didn't have any place to go, and they didn't want to give up their family home, and leave Rome permanently. So that's going to be another one where we've talked to several developers. It's funny that we made the announcement in April of last year for Chobani, and I think the very next week developers were calling and looking for land of where to build. So we've been working with several developers and showing different parcels of land that are available in the city of Rome for development. So that is all in the works every single day. I've got a meeting this week specifically on one parcel that somebody is looking to do a housing development on. And these people want to get ahead of it. They want to get in now so that they can, when Chobani opens up and they start hiring these 1,000, 1,500 people that they're going to end up having, they want to have the houses here for them. They don't want to be building while people are coming in and now they've found places. They want them now. So it's been the real estate market in Rome is been quite hot over the last year or two.
I got a quick question that you may not be able to answer. I'm an Air Force brat. My dad retired from Griffiths, so and I've stayed in the area. Over the years, it'll always be the base. I'll always, I got to go to the base. I got to drive across the base, and it's been really heartwarming to see the spaces being reactivated and re-stimulated and becoming an active part of the community again. And every time I drive by the airport out there, I wonder what the future of that's going to be. That is so, a lot of times in Utica, we talk about the uniqueness of the things we have in Utica, the zoo, the golf course, the ski slope. Rome's got a freaking airport. Is there, and like I said, you may not be able to answer it. B, you may not be able to talk about it, but is there a future for that? That is such an economic gem in my mind, and I am not an economics development person, but there's got to be a way to utilize that, and maybe it is being utilized, and like I said, nobody can talk about it, but my first thought was, oh great, Chobani's got its own little launch pad here to deliver product nationally, or or some other company that might be moving in. But that's always been kind of like one of those, I stop at the Four Corners there and I glance over at the tower and I see it and I'm like, I wonder what's going on there today as I make my left-hand turn to go to my destination. So I don't know if you can comment on that or not.
So the airport's run by the county, Oneida County Airport. And so that'd be a great question for the county executive. But it is utilized on the private sector. We have a lot of private planes that are stored up there that come and go and take off from there. On the other side, it's used as a training stop for the military. We're constantly seeing military aircraft that flies.
Yeah, and there's still some maintenance, like Coast Guard vehicles are in there being and when the presidents have been in the area, that's been their touchdown spot.
Yep, I've done security details for Obama and Trump when they both flew in when they came to Rome or the general area. But they tried the commercial side of it back, I don't know how many years ago. They did the flights to Atlantic City because for the PD, we used to get sent up there because you'd have people going on the plane with a lot of money and people coming off the plane probably with less money, but still with money. So they used to send us up there. We had a schedule of when the Atlantic City planes were coming in, and we had to go up there as a PD. You'd go inside the gate. You'd wait for everybody to get out, get into their cars, take off, and then you were good to go. So they tried it. I don't know if it was a bust or it just didn't financially sit right.
Right.
But I think with everything going on now, not only up at the business park and with Chobani and everything else, we have MetLife that's coming to Rome. They made that announcement. With everything going on, if maybe they give it another shot and get a commercial liner to come in and say, you know what, we do want to run some flights. I mean, honestly, I think if you ran flights from here to Myrtle Beach, from here to Florida, you would have a huge
straight shooter commuter flights.
I mean, how many of us travel constantly to those areas to get out of this? The weather we talked about a little while ago. Yeah. It'd be nice to drive, whether it's coming from here 20 minutes down the road, jump on a plane and go, or in Rome, it's 5 minutes up the road. And, but I don't know. I don't know if that's been looked at and financially it just doesn't make sense, the cost of it and things like that, or if it's just looking for the right
opportunity.
It wants to say,
it's definitely a link in the chain. Maybe its opportunity just hasn't formulated yet.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. And they've got the beautiful facility up there where Millionaire is, and they just named it after Jerry Farini. I mean, it's a beautiful facility.
Yeah.
If you haven't been in it, it's gorgeous. So I mean, it'd be a great place to take advantage of that. And the runway is, I mean, you can land the spaceship there literally. So,
it was a lot of people don't know that was a backup landing site for the space shuttle.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
If Florida was under bad weather, Griffiths was an alternative spot because of the way the airstrip was constructed.
Yep. Because of the B-52s that airstrip is built. I mean, I don't know how thick it is, but then the length of it. So.
Yeah.
That makes me laugh, though. If the weather's bad in Rome, where can we go? Rome, New York. That sounds like it won't be snowing there.
You'd be surprised at what came in and out of Rome, New York during that period of time.
That's true.
Mayor, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. I hope Bill feels better.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll pass that on to him.
Yes, please do.
We expect him back by Monday, I guess, the latest. But thank you for joining us this morning. Quick
time
out.
Guys, thank you.
Ryan Noble's coming up next here on WIBX.
The President's Day sale is on at Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on New York State's largest selection from New York State's largest specialty bedding retailer. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Winter has officially taken over, and the cold isn't playing around. Though the weather is frigid, the deals at Steve Ponte Chevrolet in Herkimer are on fire. If your ride isn't ready for snow, ice, and everything Central New York throws at it, it's time to turn up the heat with a brand new Chevy from Steve Ponte. Right now, drive a 2026 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive for just $319 a month. Need more muscle? Get into a 2026 Chevy Colorado Crew Cab 4-wheel drive with the towing package for only $299 a month. Or go big with a 2026 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, just $399 a month. Warm up to a better ride today at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer. Chevrolet, together let's drive. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet.
Customer must qualify top tier credit with GM Financial and qualify for the GM car. Equinox and Silverado must have Chevy lease with GM Financial and household and $3,000 down. Colorado must have select vehicle and household and $1,000 down. All taxes, fees, and first payment due on delivery. Must take delivery by February 28, 2026. See dealer for details.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Breakfast burritos for the morning brainstorm. Easy Cater. Paninis for the lunch and learn. Easy Cater. Barbecue for the clients from Boston. Easy Cater. Brownie boxes and mini bun cakes for Brenda's workiversary. Easy Cater. One simple platform to feed any size group with food they love from favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Easy Cater. All the food for your workplace, all in one place. Start an order at easycater.com.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50/50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX. So a couple of comments I want to get to before we get to Ryan Nobles. Although actually one of these I think he'll connect with. First, we go to Lance in Lee. Does Mr. Smullen believe this primary will damage him in the general election? This primary sure is making Mr. Gendabine look like a better option every day. So I think to part of Lance's point about the primary damaging him in the general election, yes, Smullen has been really hesitant to criticize President Trump in any fashion. As a matter of fact, when he was on with us a couple of weeks ago, I asked a question. He was criticizing his primary opponent, Anthony Constantino, about being too brash and loudmouth and some of the stuff he said on social media. And I said to him, why don't you have that criticism for President Trump? And his answer was more about, he just started talking about Constantino again. So, yeah, I do think the primary could hurt Smullen's chances, depending on how far he leans into Trump. It could hurt his chances in the general election for sure. Lance also says, so Jeff, the show is so boring today that you need to read personal attacks from Davy's relatives. Keep up the good work. Okay, Lance, go back and take a nap then. All right. And then we'll welcome in Ryan Nobles from NBC News. 2 things I want to mention before we get to the meat and potatoes. Good morning, Ryan.
Great. Good news. We're going to make the show exciting now. Too bad it's been boring all morning. We're going to pump things up right now.
Yeah, it was so bad, actually, at 7:15, I fell asleep. That's how bad it was this morning. So we were talking a little bit about NFL caps and how expensive they are. So Darlene, to follow up on a previous segment, said, Jeff, I bought that Bills hat for my son. I had Kohl's cash, and it still cost me $35. So I'm sure you've seen the new style hats. They got the little square with the team's logo on the inside. Those are like $60 hats now.
When you said caps, I thought you meant salary caps, because those are also very exorbitant. Yeah, it's funny you mention that because I have come across that too. You used to be able to get a really nice hat for the $20, $25 range.
Yep.
And now, especially if you get the new sideline caps, the ones that the teams are wearing on the sidelines, the prices are outrageous. $60. That's crazy. And I don't know about you, but I need a hat like I need a hole in the head. I've got more hats than I know what to do with, but yet I'll see one of those on the sideline and be like, boy, do I need that? I don't know. I think I'd look good in that. So
yeah,
it's crazy. People pay them, and that's why they're able to do it, because people will pay the money for them.
If you get a jersey now, by the way, not to make this all about sports and football, I think they're like $180 or $190. And again,
if you want the real ones, yes, because my daughter has an obsession with them. I can tell you. Yes.
Oh my goodness, I can imagine.
Yes. But there are knockoff sites that you can find from maybe not the most reputable vendors that aren't exactly licensed material. That you're rolling the dice, but for a much cheaper price, sometimes it's worth it.
Well, and the thing is too, especially I try to tell this to my son. It's like, look. That wide receiver who they just drafted might only be here for 2 years, so we're not investing $200 in this shirt that you wear once a week for half the year, and then we have to throw it out because he's not on the team anymore.
My daughter is becoming increasingly obsessed with the Buffalo Sabres as they've finally begun to improve, and she's a field hockey goalie. So I took her to a game in December, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who's one of the Sabres goalies, was in net, and so she loves him now, and she wants his jersey. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a long-term investment. We have no idea if they'll even be on the team next year. But it's I think it's always risky to buy a guy's jersey, especially in this era of sports when these guys jump around. I mean, you probably thought a Pete Alonso jersey was a good investment for the Mets, and look how that turned out.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 3 football jerseys. 2 of them say Manaski, and 1 of them says Manning. I mean, so obviously Eli.
That's the way to go. So the only jersey I have is a Jack Kemp jersey, a Buffalo. I also have a problem with grown men wearing jerseys of people younger than them. But yeah, I have a throwback Jack Kemp jersey for the Bills, which I like. So yeah, that's the only one I have.
That's an interesting point, Ryan. And then finally, I'll put a bow on this to say when we were talking about the hats, now prices have gone up. It used to be you could get a sideline cap for $20, $25, and it used to be, I guess this was 20 years ago now. Things changed, but I remember when I was buying those couple jerseys that I mentioned, they were like $50, $60 jerseys. I think one I paid, the customized one, I paid $80 for. $190 now for a jersey. That's
Jeff. When did we get old? When did that happen? Where we sound like a bunch of old men.
It happened.
We're going to be meeting at McDonald's with a list of topics to talk about. We're one step away from that.
Listen, if we met at McDonald's, we'd have a lot to talk about today. President Trump's State of the Union address last night. I know many Democrats didn't attend. The one member there, I can't think of his name. I want to call him Al. He got escorted out. Al Green got escorted out once again. I know there was a big hurrah for the men's team. Certainly that was deserving. But kind of package up this State of the Union last night for us, if you could.
So I was in the room last night. It was the 4th State of the Union that I've been in the room for, and it was, I would say, the most uncomfortable. And when you sit up there, and my perch is behind the president, looking out on the chamber, and it was remarkable how muted the Democrats were and how over the top Republicans were. So almost there was a standing ovation on the Republican side basically every time Trump stopped talking at the end of every sentence.
Right.
And it certainly seemed as though they were trying to overcompensate for the fact that the other half of the chamber was completely vacant and just not engaged at all. And I sat there wondering, like, is this the view? Is this kind of a microcosm of the country that we're living in right now? Because my guess is that half the country watched that speech and were standing up and applauding at everything Donald Trump said, and half the country was either not watching the speech at all or disgusted by it and unhappy with the things Trump was saying. And it used to be that a president could find at least slivers of common ground that you could bring both sides of the chamber to their feet on. And, he certainly did that. With the men's hockey team, it was impossible not to stand and applaud for them. And he threw in a couple of Medal of Honor winners there, which was difficult not to stand and applaud for that. But when you get past kind of the showmanship of it, the meat and potatoes, the substantive policies that he talked about, the way he wants to execute those policies, there just was no common ground whatsoever. And, if I'm sure a lot of your listening audience thinks that that's the way the president should go. You either get on board with him or you're out. But sitting in that room and recognizing the fact that a lot of these big things that he's talking about cannot be accomplished without at least a handful of Democrat support. And he's making no effort to try and find some sort of bipartisan path forward. And the best example I'll give you, Jeff, is he keeps talking about the Save America Act, and I know we had kind of a heated conversation about voting a couple weeks ago. But let's just say that you think the Save America Act is something that should be passed, which kind of the foundation of it is a proof of citizenship and a photo ID to vote. There's some other things in it that we can be debated. But let's just say those two things you wanted passed. You can't get those passed without getting at least 9 or 10 Democrats on board in the Senate. And there wasn't a single Democrat clapping their hands there. And Trump's attitude is not to find a way to bring them into the room and find some sort of common ground to get something like that passed. It's just like, you guys better do this, and if you don't, you're bad people. And I think that more than anything represents the polarization of the country. And I'm not saying that if it were Trump and it were Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer or another Democrat sitting up there that we wouldn't have seen the roles completely reversed. But the polarization right now in Washington, and I think a reflection of the country, is at an all-time high now, and it was really reflected in that room last night.
Yeah, and I agree with a lot of what you said there. I want to, because we're running out of time, I want to move on to another topic, and I didn't know if you had any light to shed on this, and that's the situation with Iran. We seem to be, I don't know, Iran is buying time, but we seem to be getting closer and closer to an actual war with Iran. What do you know? What can you tell us?
So yesterday, the Gang of Eight, which is the congressional leaders in both the House and Senate and the leaders of the intelligence committees in both the House and Senate, had a briefing on Iran from Senator Marco Rubio. It certainly seems as though the administration is ramping up towards something there. I think the issue is it's not exactly clear what President Trump wants Iran to do. And it's not exactly clear, if they don't do what he wants, that how he will try and get them to do what he wants. The most obvious thing would be some level of regime change. That does not seem in any way feasible without some sort of military action. He wants them to tamp down on the protesters to stop the kind of killing and the heavy-handed tactics with the protesters. And I think he wants more evidence that they're not going to continue to try and reconstitute their nuclear program. And then the other big thing he wants, which doesn't...
I thought we took it out. Didn't we?
Yeah, it was completely obliterated, right? Yeah, but there are signs that they're trying to rebuild it up. But I think the most important thing that the administration is looking for is that they want Iran to stop continuing to be this proxy supporter of these different terror groups around the country. We're talking around the world, like Hezbollah and Hamas and those types of outfits. And I don't know even if Iran claimed that they were going to stop doing it, if they can actually stop doing that in any sort of tangible way, and how you would be able to prove that in short order. So it certainly looks as though he's ramping up to some sort of military presence there, and I just have to wonder how that's going to be received by the average American. I don't imagine that the appetite for getting American troops involved in another Middle Eastern conflict does not seem very high. But the president seems hell-bent on this, and I do think the next 2 to 3 months are going to be pretty pivotal in which way he goes in terms of this. And I think if he's going to do this, he's got to clearly state what the end goal is and how long he expects the Americans to be involved in it. It was interesting last night. He was bragging about all these wars he claims to have stopped, but yet he seems on the verge of starting another one. So
I don't think the American public has an appetite for it. I know the Democrats, let's be honest, they don't support a lot of what he does or the initiatives that he takes. And the support he got from Republicans and even some who were in the middle was, I want to end these foreign wars. I want to stop being the world's policeman. And that's certainly not, I don't think Iran was on the table when he was selling to the American people why he deserved a second term.
One of his number one promises was the end of American interventionism around the world. It was a huge, huge foundational principle of his reelection promise to the American people in Venezuela, Greenland.
I agree, and we're about to get caught off.
Canada.
I'm sorry.
Yep. All right, no worries, guys.
Thank you, Ryan. Have a great day.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
This is a Fox News alert. He took longer than ever to tell us the State of the Union is strong. I'm Dave Anthony.
We have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages.
President Trump, in the longest address to Congress ever, an hour 48 minutes, touted a roaring economy, saying